Good morning, everybody. Good morning, 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 good morning. Today we are going to be the judge, the jury, and the I was gonna say the executioner. We're not gonna do that, but welcome. Today we are going to be telling your submitted Am I the Asshole stories. You know, we're gonna tell them, we're gonna decide who's the problem child and who's, well, deemed to be innocent of their crimes. And, you know, everybody here's gonna help me out. We're gonna decide. I'm gonna read you some stories. I haven't read any of them yet. I had a mod go through and pick some out of the ones that were submitted to be read. And as you can see, they're on my little note card here. Shout out to the note card that has all like somewhere between 10 and 15 stories on it. It's a very big note card, and with very small handwriting on it. Okie dokie. Before we get into it, how are you guys doing today? Are you guys doing well? Hi, the best. Hi, Park Sua. Hi. Oh, Yasumi. Hi, Nando. Hi, Gabriel. Hi, Zenithor. Hi, Shiba Inu girl. Hi. Hello. Hi, lurkers. Hi, VOD watchers. Hi. Hi. Okay. Are you guys excited to well, become the jury? I'll be the judge, and you guys can be the jury. Oh, yes. I'm excited. Okay. Let us get into our first story. By the way, I believe all of them are cosplay / idol / VTuber related. I don't know what the ratio on them is, but I believe they're all something like anime adjacent related. So, you know, like fandom stuff. So hopefully, you know, we're all in the right crowd over here. Let us open up. Oh, that's quite large now, isn't it? Hold on. Let us open up the little for our first story here. Hold on, I'm using my magic to schmallin it. I'm using my magical girl magic to schmallin it because, wow. Okay. Okay, wait, I can make it bigger than that. Yeah. I'm Listen, this is such a professional stream. I promise. Sure, right there is good. Cool. Okay. Story number 1. Also, hi, figure. Welcome. Yes. Hello. Okay. Story number 1. Am I the asshole for telling others about my idol group experience and warning them to steer clear? Submitted by Anonymous. Yes, they're all anonymous. I also had my mod take names out, so if you did include names, they probably say things like A or B now. Yes! That title's longer than some trash isekais. Alright, so in my professional opinion, based strictly on the title here, I don't think so. I haven't read the story yet. Based on the title alone, I don't think so. This is clearly Mimi. I didn't submit any. What? Fellas. How stupid do you think I am? I know I'm dumb, but come on, fellas. No. But yes. Okay, let us read this. And we can decide who's the asshole. Okay. I'm gonna do my, my reading voice. Here we go. Hi there. A few years ago, me and my partner were a part of a fairly popular idol group. I have a seizure disorder. Oh my. And during our first full group in-person meeting, one occurred. Several members paused, but continued to have the meeting and subsequently renamed the group, picked a new logo, etc., while my partner and I laid on the floor. Okay, I have some thoughts. I'll save my thoughts for the end. The next day, we asked to discuss some of those choices made again since we didn't get to vote during our meeting. We were told no. Later, several members told me they felt quote-unquote uncomfortable and quote-unquote had a panic attack after witnessing my seizure. They cited concerns about my ability to dance with the group. I opened up the floor several times in chats, phone calls, and Discord calls to answer any questions about my disorder, triggers, etc., how to handle an emergency if one occurs, and how my disorder works, but none of the members engaged in conversation. Eventually, I was told by the leader that they no longer felt safe having me as a part of the group because of this. When asked if I could stay and do filmed projects instead of live performances, I was told it would be quote-unquote unfair to whomever, this was a hypothetical person, filled in for me in live performances, that it was a safety issue, and I was removed from the group. I also believe it's worth mentioning here that I was the only male identifying and trans member of the group at that point, and would remain the only one. After many months of discussion with those involved, several of the idols have apologized and admitted their actions were extremely ableist. Here's where I might be the asshole, though. 2 of the idols involved, one of whom was extremely aggressive about my disorder because of their quote-unquote nurse training, have continued to perform on large stages and are well known and promoted by several other big creators in the space without ever apologizing, and continue to speak about me and my partner. While conventions have contacted me asking for my side of the story and subsequently stopped working with these idols once they've heard, including a cancellation of local idol fest that they were supposed to run once the truth came forward, I haven't made any public posts about it. However, am I the asshole for telling other disabled idols that working with these 2 might not be the safest choice and to steer clear? Nothing has been made public and there are no call-out posts due to the popularity of one idol in particular involved. My group and many others don't feel safe attending the idol fests these idols run or participate in due to their lack of apology, unchanged behavior, and the possibility of being denied accommodations. Lately, though, I've been told that telling my story is unfair and that I'm the asshole for bringing it up when they could have changed or educated themselves in the time that's passed, maybe 2 years or so. I believe there's a fine line between talking shit and spreading awareness, but maybe I've crossed it and don't realize it. So, am I the asshole for telling others about my idol group experience and warning them to steer clear? Well, okay, hold on. Mimi's got a lot of thoughts. Yeah, this is Mimi's story. What, guys? No. LMAO, they really saw a girl get a seizure and got the ick. Okay, yes, you probably said that before they said they were a male, but yes, they saw a guy get a seizure and got the ick, I guess. I don't know. Okay, thoughts over here for me. Feel free to chat your thoughts. I think, first of all, sorry about your disorder that you have to deal with that. I hope you are okay, as okay as you can be. Second, I do think... Okay, breaking it down, all right? I think, one, I feel a little bit like I'm missing some context here. Because, why would they not like your partner, too? You know what I mean? I get it, right? You had an episode, which, first of all, it's not like you could control that, so obviously no one should be mad at you for that. So I'm a little confused as to why they'd be, anti your partner too? Breaking it down. LMAO, maybe this stream is a POG idea. Thanks, TLMC. Welcome. But yeah, I'm a little confused about that, so I feel like maybe there's some details that are not being considered in the overalls. But right, but I'm also thinking, number one, as far as the base question is, are you the asshole for telling other disabled idols that working with them isn't the best choice and to steer clear? No, I'm all of, in my personal opinion, okay, I'm all for the thing of saying, you know what, if you had a bad experience with it, as long as you're not, going around telling strangers, this person's a piece of shit. Never talk to this person, right? If you're talking, one-on-one to someone and they're like, I'm gonna go work with this person. And you're like, well, I know you also have a disability and this was my experience. I think that's fine as long as you're framing it by saying, like, I had a bad experience, XYZ, you know? As long as you're not like, this person's a piece of potatoes and they should be canceled, you know? Because it's like, I mean, I don't know. I will say a couple things. Let's circle back here onto some quotes from the story. I do think the fact that you had a seizure while you were at practice, and I mean, listen, okay, I'm not educated. Let me preface this. I'm not educated in any capacity on your disorder. This is all me going based off of just generalized stuff, because I have, like, migraines, right? And they could be debilitating, you know what I mean? Like, I gotta cancel practices and stuff a lot because of that, right? The fact that people were like, well, you made me uncomfortable by having a seizure, kind of crazy. Kind of crazy. I mean, everyone is, of course, allowed to, you know, feel what they must feel, but at the same time, you know, I can see, like, okay, it's difficult because I want to see both sides. That's, oh my god, a Pengy quote. I see both sides. I'm not a Gemini, but I'm quoting Pengy. I see both sides. No, but anyway, I could see why they'd be like, okay, we wanna be, you know, idol, something, dance, something, etc. And like they would, like, worry about it, but, like, that's where it's like, okay, well, you should ask them, like you should ask the person with the disability if it would, you know, affect anything, right? So, I don't know. I think, okay, Mimi's conclusion with this is, I don't think that you are the asshole for telling other people about it, right? Because at this point, do we even know that they know that you told people? You know what I mean? Like, did you even end up hurting their feelings or anything with that? Because, like, they might not even know, you know what I mean? So, I don't know. I think saying, like, giving others, like, a fair warning, I think that's fine. I think a fair warning's fine, you know? Like, I've done that, actually. You know what? I forgot. When I was in my first idol group, when we were all school idols and minors, somebody told me they had a bad experience with someone else, and then I saw two of the girls in my group were, like, talking to them, and I was like, oh, just so you know, like, I don't know what, like, anything, but just so you know, I heard this. And then it became like, were you shit-talking me? And I was like, oh, God, no, I'm sorry. I didn't mean that. Because it was, like, a person I don't know. Granted, this was when I was, like, 16 or something. So this was a long time ago. But still, I do understand, you know, like, I personally am the type of person who wants to have, like, all of the information before I hop into something. So I would personally appreciate the warning, whether or not anything, you know. I don't think anyone's decisions about other people or views on other people should be, like, entirely determined based on what someone else says about them. You know, you should judge people for yourself. But, you know, having information is never a bad thing. Especially if it's, like, given to you in the form of information and not, like, fact. You know, fact about their personality. You know what I mean? I don't know. Anyway, so that's my thoughts on it. Chat, you have any thoughts? Chat? I do think it's a little, hold on. There was one thing I wanted to talk about. You said, you were told by the leader of the group that they no longer felt safe having you as a part of the group. And when you, like, tried to compromise, basically, they said it would be unfair and that it was a safety issue, so you had to be removed. I think that's a little confusing to me. Coming, like, from, like, I can see your perspective there, because it's like, well, they don't have to compromise with you for sure, right? That's not something that they have to do. But I do think it's like, well, what are you doing? You know what I mean? Like, why is that a safety issue for them? You know? Like, these people sound young, or at least immature for how they handled it. It does kind of give, young vibes, doesn't it? There's no ages or anything included with this story, so I don't know. But I'm kind of like, I mean, what's the safety issue for them? Like, I could see the safety issue for you. Is it just like the panic attack thing? Like, are they just scared of witnessing another episode? Because, I mean, while that is valid to an extent, feels a little selfish. But I don't know. I mean, like, if they were uncomfortable with you being in the group because they were worried about you having another, like, if they were worried for your safety, I could kind of see that. Because, like, I mean, I don't know what triggers seizures in your specific situation, right? But for me, like, for example, strobe lights can hurt my eyeballs and my brain because of my light sensitivity, right? So, like, if I'm on stage and there's strobe lights, it kind of makes me dizzy sometimes. Not all the time, but sometimes. And, you know, that's, like, a valid concern. Like, if I was in an idol group and people were like, well, hey, we want to put strobe lights in this performance. Like, what if you like, die on stage? That'd be bad for all of us, you know? And that's valid. But at the same time, like, one, I know that's not how that works. And two, like, I don't know. I feel like there's a level of communication that should have happened that didn't happen. You did mention that you're trans and male identifying and you were the only one of the group that had that. And, like, if that was an underlying issue here, I wouldn't be able to comment on it. Hopefully it's not, but, like, if it was, you know, I don't know. It's also fair to point out, like, there's a lot of people in these communities, right? Lots of people, and lots of people that are kind of interesting, and lots of people who like to fake illnesses for lots of reasons. Like, cause, you know, idols are at heart attention seekers in a way, in some way, shape, or form, right? So, I mean, that's coming from someone who's the same way, but. So, you know, maybe they were, like, concerned that was, like, something it was. Obviously, I'm not saying that's what it was, but, like, maybe that was a concern they had. I don't know. Sounds like there's a lot of miscommunications, and maybe you guys were just not the right fit for each other in an idol group. I don't know. That's me. For sure. No thoughts, good review, okay? I would probably stick to telling people you had issues with them before, and then to talk to you if something happens. You never know if they change. That's true. Lots of people are interesting for sure. Yes, that is true. That is very true. So those are my thoughts on that. Yes. So to answer your question on screen here, no, I don't think you're the asshole for telling other people to steer clear of them and warning them. I think that's fine. Personally, you might not agree with that, other people in the world, but you know what? I'm Mimi. Next story. Next story. Am I the asshole for having a similar vibe to my idol duo partner? All right, based off the title here. What? No? Question mark? Question mark? No? Okay, hold on. I'm curious. I need more information. This one's a shorter story, so we might be able to read this one quite quickly. But let's go. Ready? I, 19 female, am in an idol duo with my best friend, also 19 female, okay? We have had a lot of conflict because she doesn't want to have to, quote-unquote, compete with me. She wants me to be the cutesy and sweet type so that she can be the cool and sexy type. I don't see why we have to be put into specific niches like that and why we can't both do both. I just don't see it as competition, while she's really unhappy if I even look a little bit sexy. Am I in the wrong? Well... Okay, so this one's also a two-side situation. I mean, I'm sure almost all of them are gonna be, right? But with this one, I'm thinking, like, it depends. I think you might want to you should talk to them, okay? First and foremost, talk to them about that. I mean, I know it says that you have talked about it, but maybe talk to them about it again. Because I think, in my brain, this could boil down to, like, you guys having different goals with the group as a beginning point, right? Because, like, if you just want to have fun, you know what I mean? You just want to be an idol, have fun, you don't care about what you look like, you could do both things, you know what I mean? Like, sure, that's a valid point. But then, like if your friend is saying like, well, I want to be this niche and you can be that niche, her perspective is probably like, well, having two different personalities in a group is more marketable. You know what I mean? You could bounce them off of each other and you have more marketability. Because I personally do view things like that a little bit more than the previous thing I was saying. Because, you know, marketability is real important. But I don't know. I don't think you're in the wrong. I think you guys need to have a conversation. I don't even think either of you are an asshole here, to be honest with you. I think you need to have a conversation about what your goals are and you know whatnot. Cause like it might not be good to be like, oh, I have to compete with you for this. Cause that is also something I have like, you know, cause we did that in Rezo a lot. We were like talking about like, okay, well, if this is your your sort of thing and this is my sort of thing, then we got to try and like stick in our lanes. You know what I mean? We did have issues with that we, you know, talked about and discussed. I guess we had conversations that solved the problems, but you know, so we did. That is like something that happens, I would probably assume, often in idol groups. At least in my idol groups it happens each time, right? I mean, you just got to talk about it if that's something that people care about, you know what I mean? So seems like you guys both just want different things, you know? Sounds like these people might be incompatible. Sounds like they want different things, not really an asshole thing. Yeah, I agree. I think you guys just need to have a conversation. I don't think either of you are necessarily in the wrong. Just seems like you're not fully communicating on the issue, you know? Because there's upsides to both sides, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? So, no, you're not the asshole. Judges have judged. Judges have judged. Next. Judges have judged. You've been judged. Next story. Am I the asshole for ghosting my idol group mate at cons because he's downright insufferable? Oh my god. Oh my god. Whoa. I'm here for the drama. Hi, Kaiko. Oh my god. Just the title of this one. Okay, sorry, that title took me out. I didn't pre-read that. That took me out. I'm sad I forgot my story. If you guys want, here, you can still submit stories. I'll just have to proofread it at the end. But here, let me put this in the chat. You guys can still submit stories if you'd like. We'll read this one in just a moment. Pardonnez-moi, s'il vous plaît. Comment ça va? Ça va bien? Ça va bien. Okay, right here, I will pin it. Submit your story. Bing bong. And put this here, and then you can, oh, not me commenting hundreds in my own chat accidentally. Oh, geez. Okay, well, hold on. I'll pin that momentarily. But yes, okay. Excuse, the little 100 emoji is in the way. What am I supposed to do in this situation? Okay, I did it. There we go. Okay, so yeah, you guys can still submit your stories if you'd like to. No worries on that. Okay, but yes, alright, so, are you the asshole for ghosting your idol group mate at cons because he's downright insufferable? I'm gonna say yes and no. Because, frankly, if it were me, I would do the same thing based on the title alone. I haven't read the story at all yet, right? But based on the title alone, I would also probably ghost someone if they're downright insufferable. You know, you're looking out for yourself. Nothing wrong with that. All right, let's read the story for context. Tell your friend to stop being insufferable. All right, hold on. Let's read the story for context, and then we shall judge more deeply. All right, let's see. One of my fellow idol group members has recently become more and more annoying to be around. Oh, you're so brutally honest. It's refreshing, okay? He has this tendency to start debates on oh no. Debates on things that usually have no place in the conversation and generally has questionable opinions on a lot of topics, like disability rights, something that is very important to me. Ooh. I'm also growing increasingly tired of his lack of contribution to things. Ooh. He's always the last to learn choreo and blames everything but his own lack of dedication. Ooh. The problem I have is not wanting to ruin the mood of the dance group by bringing it up. As it will inevitably cause drama due to this guy being very entitled and immature. I know how much the group means to my other members and to me, and bringing this up would cause drama that I don't want to bring upon them. So I suck it up and deal with it during practices. That's about as much as I can take, though, and I've been limiting my interactions with him more and more during cons. He doesn't seem to realize he's doing anything wrong, though, which makes me feel like I'm being mean by avoiding him. But when the other options are either start a conflict or leave the dance group myself, ghosting feels like the least painful option. Am I the asshole? Oh, wow. Okay, I looked at chat. Oh no, he's a Redditor. Debate me, bro. Oh my god. Okay, I'm gonna say something. Advice coming from an Idol veteran, if you could call me that after doing this for 8 years. Oh no. Advice coming from an Idol veteran. You need to talk to your group about it. Stop dealing with it alone. I know it feels like the best option because you're not causing a conflict. You need to talk to your group about it. You need to have conversations with them about it because you're just going to continue to build up resentment and you're just going to not be happy. You know what I mean? And you can't just sit there and not be happy. You know what I mean? You don't want to keep building up resentment towards them. I don't know, you gotta think about your specific situation. I don't know if the better answer is to talk to him solo about it, depending on the situation, or to talk to the group, or like if you have like a group leader or something, you know, or like a mom friend or something. I don't know. You think about your situation to see what's right, but I think you need to talk to them about it, figure it out, you know what I mean? Because sitting there and just like dealing with it, I don't know, especially reading some of these things that you said, like, I mean, once again, I'm going based strictly off of what's in front of me, but, like, this person, having, like, rights, like, wanting to debate people all the time, and, like, saying, like, anti-disability rights and stuff like that, and then just not contributing to the group itself either, and like lacking dedication and everything. That just doesn't sound to me like he's someone who's healthy for your group overall. Obviously, you know, I don't know who this person is or their side of the story, but I am thinking you might want to have a conversation because no, I don't think you're the asshole for ghosting. I don't know if he's an asshole necessarily. I mean, you haven't spoken very highly, so perhaps he is. But regardless, I do think it's like, if you're dealing with an entitled, immature person who's not considering other people's feelings, who's not doing things in the idol group, like if you're in an idol dance group and he doesn't want to dance and he doesn't want to do things with that and he just wants to debate people all the time, like, you know, maybe you're not in an idol group with an idol, maybe you're in an idol group with someone who just wants to be in a group, which, you know, that certainly happens, but it might not be the healthiest thing. And you know what, you never know, maybe other people in your group are also feeling this way. I don't know if he's got, like, you know, a little tism, you know, no problems with that, but, like, you know, if there's something up there that's making it, you know, harder for him to see things in the same viewpoint that you do, perhaps, you know, that's something to be considered. But regardless, I think there's a conversation that must be had here. Hi, Stella Fires, welcome. Yeah, I don't know, and if you're really worried about you, like, I wouldn't even think about it as starting conflict. I think you should consider this like a you voicing a concern sort of situation, because, like, if you're just sitting there unhappy at every practice and every performance that you guys do with this person who you're, like, just not happy about being around, like, You don't have to be around them, you know what I mean? You can, and you don't have to ditch your whole friend group either, your dance group. Like, you can talk to them and be like, hey, I have some concerns about this. This person's making me really uncomfortable, you know? And also, they're not doing shit. I will always say, if you're going to join an idol group, you have to be prepared to do shit, okay? If you're just going to sit there and expect everything to be done for you, you have no place in that idol group, okay? Like, I mean, you have to at least be willing to put the effort in and try, you know what I mean? I don't know if that's the whole problem here, but I took that out of it personally. So, regardless, I don't think you're the asshole for ghosting. I think you need to have a conversation with your friends, okay? Okay, cool? Yes, very good. No, you're not the asshole. And downright insufferable is so funny, so you made me giggle. Okay, next story. Am I the asshole for calling my indecisive boyfriend immature over a SpongeBob cosplay? Ooh. Ooh, okay. Alright, based on the title alone, no? Maybe? Okay, if you're calling your boyfriend immature, I don't think that makes you an asshole. That could be a true statement, depending, right? Over a SpongeBob cosplay, you know, the debatability goes a little bit farther. Let's read for more context, shall we? Let's read for more context. I giggled at the SpongeBob. Me too. Me too. Okay. I, 29 female, have been with my boyfriend, 31 male, for 8 months now. And I don't even think I know the man I'm dating anymore. Oh my god. His friend group and Discord server is saying that I'm the asshole, but I need a different perspective. Well, you're so in luck because I'm always right, so... Sorry, okay. We got this. We had some small fights here and there, but overall I thought we were happy. We were a happy normal couple who shared the same interest, cosplay. We were planning to attend a con together cosplaying SpongeBob and Squidward. SpongeBob and Squidward. I was excited to make the costumes as we had ample time before the con, but a week after him deciding who to be, I made him a male costume for Squidward. A male? Is Squidward a girl? Wait, what? Okay. The issues really began the minute he literally wouldn't stop arguing who was going to be Oh, I see. Who was going to be Squidward, okay? At first, I thought it was a joke and he brushed it off, but he was so persistent it actually formed problems in our relationship. Oh my god. Every day leading up to the con, he would list reasons why he made the perfect Squidward, but then would randomly switch up and decide he wanted to be SpongeBob. We had to get our costumes altered like 20 times, and I brought up the fact that he was being immature. He did not respond well. As a seamstress, I was frustrated at having to stay up late fixing his costume. For reference, I'm 4'8" and he's 6'3". God damn. God damn. His only response to what I thought was a reasonable complaint was, "You like to sew, what's the issue?" I don't want to regret my decisions. This is the quote. "You like to sew, what's the issue? I don't want to regret my decisions. You know I have anxiety." End of quote. He then called me insensitive. I told him if we couldn't work something out as easy as who was SpongeBob and who was Squidward for a con, then what would that mean for our future? He thought I was being dramatic, and it's been eating away at me only to see his friends online calling me an asshole. We ended up canceling the con because he refused to reason with me and couldn't decide who to be. I'm very hurt and now have 2 altered SpongeBob and Squidward thongs, plush fishnet tights, for sale on eBay. If anyone wants them, they are lightly used. Oh my god. Not the eBay plug at the end. Not the eBay plug. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay. You're trying so hard not to laugh. burst out laughing at work right now. Not the anxiety card. Homie has the whole server on his side. Not gonna lie. If problems this serious are popping up, not even a year into it, break up. That's kind of wild. Yeah, okay. All valid points. First of all, not to be a bitch, y'all are like 30. You said he's 31. I'm 23. Grow up. What the fuck? Okay, that's just me though. That's just me. Do I think you're the asshole for calling your indecisive boyfriend immature over this? No. Do I think you're maybe not right for each other? Yes. Personally. So this shit ain't that serious, just pick a damn costume, right? And also, crazy thought here. Conventions are like usually 2 days, right? You could have done both. You could have like swapped the next day, you know. I mean, I know your like measurements are different. You could have like found a compromise somewhere, you know, roll up the pants or something, pin them high, or I don't know, you know what I mean? You could have been like a baggy Squidward, and he could have been like a real tight cosplayed SpongeBob in a skirt the next day, you know what I mean? I don't know, but I mean, where do I even start with this? Okay, first of all, his friend group's gonna back him up no matter what. If you had a friend group and you were telling them this and they were backing you up, they'd back you up no matter what too. So screw them. They are not part of this. As far as I'm concerned, they are no longer an issue here. This feels like a nothing burger that got blown way out of proportion. I agree. Also, you've been dating for 8 months, which it might feel like a while, but that's not, like, that long. So, like, it's possible, like, you didn't get to know each other, like, too well. I will say, I personally take issue with the, like, you like to sew. What's the issue? I don't want to regret my decisions. You know I have anxiety quote. You put it in quotes, so I'm assuming this is something that was spoken to you, right? Or typed to you, either way. You like to sew, what's the issue? Clearly you're not having fun, so maybe you should communicate that further there. I don't know. But if you like to sew, like, you might like to sew. I like sewing for a very small amount of time, and then, like, if I have to sew too much, or if I have to redo something, or if I have to do yada yada yada, as a fellow seamstress, that shit's annoying as fuck. Okay, it's not fun. There is fun parts of sewing, but having to, like, redo things over and over and over is not one of them. And you said, like, 20 times, whether that's an exaggeration or not, that's too much. That's too much. All right? Whoa! You know, whoa! Especially for, like, a silly, goofy SpongeBob Squidward cosplay. You know what I mean? I think that you gotta, you know, it sounds like you tried to talk about it. I would say talk about it again, but frankly, maybe this is just, you guys are just not a match, you know what I mean? Because, like, the you know I have anxiety card's kind of crazy, because it's like, okay, you having any sort of mental illness, mental disorder, etc., right? You having anything like that doesn't excuse your behavior, you know? Like, a diagnosis is not an excuse for anything, you know what I mean? So that doesn't just mean you could just be, like, an ass and just be like, well, just keep doing it. I don't care. You know what I mean? And, like, if you have anxiety, like, talking for him there, like, if you have anxiety, maybe you're feeling, like, indecisive as, like, part of that. You know what I mean? Like, maybe you're just like, oh, I can't decide. What if I choose the wrong one? What if I don't have fun, etc., over and over about something like that? You know, maybe you're overthinking it. That's valid. But at a certain point, you gotta consider your partner here, you know what I mean? You gotta consider them, consider how they're feeling, and be like, okay, clearly you're upsetting them here by making them redo the work over and over and being indecisive. Maybe you guys should have a conversation and say, listen, do you want to do this? Do you want to do that? Because there's a lot of solutions to this simple issue. You know, you could have swapped cosplays the next day. You could have each made 2 cosplays each, one of each, and then swapped the next day that way. You could have cosplayed something entirely different than SpongeBob and Squidward. You could have. There were so many options. You know what I mean? You could have just gone to the con without cosplaying. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. There's so many solutions that were potentials here, and it seems like Well, they were not reached. They were not reached, so perhaps this is either not the correct person for you, or you're lacking some communication in there. Either way, are you the asshole for calling your indecisive boyfriend immature over a SpongeBob cosplay? No. But maybe there was a little more to it that needed to happen there. So, no. But, there's that. Any closing thoughts on the SpongeBob story, chat? Just one-up him and say you're going as Mr. Krabs and tell him to suck it. Another solution given to us by the best. I'm gonna go cosplay as Mr. Krabs, and you are gonna like it. Okay, next story. I'm a goofy goober, yeah. Oh, yeah. Next story. Am I the asshole for wearing a not culturally accurate kimono cosplay? Ooh. Okay, based off the title alone, yes, you are. Based off this title alone, it's giving you knew it was wrong and you did it anyway. But let us read for context because I have a sneaking suspicion that's not what it actually is. All right, here we go. This story. Hi, Mimi. Hi. First person to actually say hi to me. Wow, how nice. You're not the asshole, actually. This story may be more controversial, so I totally get it if you don't read it, but I thought, why not submit? No, I'm down. Let's go. Basically, I used to be a very committed Danganronpa cosplayer. My favorite character at the time was Hiyoko Sayonji. I don't know Danganronpa, I'm sorry. Is that the girl with the orange color scheme? Okay. I was around 11 to 12 years old. Oh! Alright, you're not the asshole. Cool. Got it. Okay, anyway. When it came to going to cons, I had befriended a group of cosplayers who lived a couple cities over. They were all around 16 years old. Ooh, okay. Interesting age gap, very interesting. Now, my dad is a very, very talented seaming sewer. Okay, sewer. Seamstress? A male seamstress. A sewer. A seamer. And before an upcoming con I had, I asked if he would make my Hiyoko Sainoji cosplay, or kimono. My dad is as white as they come. I'm Hispanic, #adopted, in parentheses. Okay. But he reached out to his friend from his sewing guild who had experience to help. She ended up giving him a kimono making manual that was slightly simplified for Westerners. The kimono was really pretty and recognizably Hiyoko's, but unfortunately the kimono struggled to stay together and would slip constantly. Despite this, I wore it to a con. I was also wearing my Van slip-ons. Basically, my entire group of cosplay friends at the time turned on me. I had absolutely no idea about the fact that it was disrespectful to wear certain shoes / wear it a little wrong. None of them told me, and they all continued to soft block me and post about it. I ended up deleting every video / photo someone sent me about the video someone sent me, the post, I guess there's a comma there, and put up an apology and let others know. None of my friends ever talked to me again from this era. Am I the asshole? Okay, hold on. Sewist! That's the word I was looking for. Thank you. Sewist. Okay. No, I don't think you're the asshole. First of all, you literally said it. None of them told you that it was wrong. You had absolutely no idea about the fact that it was disrespectful to do the shoes and wearing it wrong. You were 11 or 12. And to be honest, your dad used what I'm assuming was given to you by a Japanese woman based on how you worded it, right? A kimono sewing book manual that was slightly simplified for Westerners. So, I mean, that seems like you did it all as correct as you could to your knowledge, you know what I mean? Also, you were 11 or 12, right? I feel like I mean, I'm not Japanese, okay? That's a good thing to say here, but I also feel like you were unaware that it was wrong. And like now you're actively saying like I understand that it's wrong now is basically what you were saying there. So it's like, well, no, that doesn't make you an asshole. Now, if you did it again like today knowing that it's wrong, like and you just did it on purpose because you didn't care, then yes, that would make you the asshole. But like you didn't know. Your dad put in the work to make you this like whole outfit and everything. You're 11 or 12. When I was cosplaying, my earliest cosplay was when I was 14, I think. 13 or 14 in that general zone. I think 14. And it was absolutely shit. Granted, I was cosplaying one of my OCs, but it was terrible. It looked awful. I was wearing my normal everyday sneakers with it. I was just wearing like upcycled Goodwill stuff and like non-hemmed cut fabric as like little pieces, you know what I mean? It was awful. That's what you do when you're first starting cosplay at like pre-age like 15. So I don't know. I feel like you are not the asshole for this. It's kind of sad that none of your friends were like, "Hey, that's disrespectful. I don't know if you're aware or not." Because if they did, then, you know, maybe that would have been avoided. But no, I think even if you were to re-cosplay Hiyoko today and you just, you know, corrected your mistakes and did it properly or whatever, I mean, it is still a cosplay, so you can do it as properly as you need to do it, right? I don't know, that's not my prerogative. But, you know, like, I don't think you're an asshole for what actually happened here, you know what I mean? Like, you didn't culturally appropriate purposefully or anything, you know what I mean? So, no, you're not the asshole. I think they were just being, like, up on their high horses about it or something. I don't know. It sucks that none of them communicated it with you, though. But then again, who needs friends like that, frankly? Make new friends, you'll be better. You'll be better off. Shunning is a no bueno. Oh, yes, I agree. Okay, but it's a convention. In what world do you not bring a pair of comfy shoes with it? So true! So true. Hyoko, one of my faves. Okay, shout out to that, TLMC. How long has this haunted you? Yeah, I don't know how old you are now. I'm sorry if this has been, like, years. Literally, who cares? It's cosplay. Not a single normal Japanese person would give a shit. Only terminally online Westerners care. That is actually kind of true. I'm not Japanese, so, like, I can't say that for certain. But I can say, like, based on what I've seen from actual Japanese people, they're happy when Westerners try and, like, honor their culture, you know what I mean? By, like, going to Japan and wearing kimonos. Granted, that's usually them wearing it properly, but, like, if a Japanese person saw, like, an 11-year-old wearing a kimono kind of wrong, I don't think they'd be offended. I think they'd be like, oh, maybe I should help them or something like that. You know what I mean? Or like ignore it entirely because it's a fucking 11-year-old. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think it's that deep. Personally, I think you're fine. Not the asshole. Concluded. Next story. Am I the asshole for ghosting a VTuber I used to be friends with? Sorry, I was reading chat. No, I don't think so, based off the title. I would never have thought somewhat inaccurate kimono was inherently offensive. I can see, like, why it would be offensive if you were, like, purposefully doing it, but if you're not purposefully doing it and, like, someone corrects you and then you immediately stop doing it, I don't think there's a problem, you know what I mean? Yes. Okay, anyway. Am I the asshole for ghosting a VTuber I used to be friends with? I don't think so. There's a lot of VTubers who are just kind of batshit crazy. Same with cosplayers, same with idols, everyone in all these communities. There's always going to be crazy people everywhere, you know what I mean? This submission isn't by Mimi, but it's referring to Mimi. Can you imagine? That'd be so funny. But no, I don't think so. I don't think so anyway. I haven't read it. But yeah, I don't think it's mean to be, like, to, like, just ghost someone if you're not, like, vibing with them, you know what I mean? I don't know. I need context. Let's go. Let's read for some context. Early in my VTubing journey, I got pretty close to someone. They were really nice, talented, and very personable. We started around the same time, so it was fun to start and grow as content creators together. At first, we were just good friends, but they were very flirty with everyone and even called everyone cute little nicknames and pet names. Due to their flirtiness, I started to develop romantic feelings and decided to tell them. They didn't feel the same way, so I asked to help me keep my feelings. They didn't feel the same way, so I asked to help me keep my feelings. I'd check if they could, sorry, there's some typos, if they could stop using pet names and cute nicknames for me. Things went fine at first. Slowly they seemed to forget and started getting flirty again and called me pet names again. On top of that, they started to tell me in depth some of their darkest mental health issues, which I was not at all ready to handle. Ooh! Red flag. Here's where I'm maybe the asshole. I basically just stopped showing up to their streams and let the friendship fizzle out. They had a lot of friends, so I didn't feel like I would be missed, and after a week of not hearing from them, I quietly unfollowed and ghosted. After another week, they tweeted about someone unfollowing them and how hurt they were. Quote unquote, parentheses, obviously me. At the time, I was in a bad place mentally and couldn't really handle a confrontation, and I felt like since it took them so long to realize my absence, I was in the clear just to ghost them. But recently, I'm starting to think maybe that isn't the case. Am I the asshole? Okay. First of all, one of my opinions regarding VTubers, this is a popular opinion, so, you know, I don't know, maybe it's like an unspoken rule sort of situation rather than like an opinion, I don't know, but for me, I feel this way, so, you know, my opinion with this is, you don't want to, and this goes with everybody, honestly, but VTubers do it like a lot, I've noticed, you don't want to just start trauma dumping on people, okay, like, venting to a friend is something, but you should probably start it with, like, okay, making sure, number one, you're really good friends with this person. And number two, you, like, have their permission to, like, vent and everything. You, like, make sure they're in a good place for it. You know what I mean? Like, you can't just, like, hop in the fucking Discord group chat and be like, oh my god, today I got fired and then I died. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like, you can't just hop into like somebody's chat like that and just kind of dump on them like that. The trauma dumping is crazy. Also, I know some VTubers have like I'm not one of them personally, so, you know, but they have like the like sexy type of like flirty vibe as like their, you know, VTuber personality, if you will. That's fine and all, right? Except I think that sort of thing is best kept in the public eye, you know? If you're gonna be an actor, you know, act in the public eye, but when you're just talking like one-on-one to other people, maybe calling them like baby girl is not the best idea. You know? 'Cause is there a limit to the length of a story? 'Cause mine's kind of long. No, you're fine. I would say maybe try to keep it less than like 6 paragraphs, but I mean, it's fine. Yeah, if you have to include context, go for it. Anyway, I don't know. I feel like maybe when you're like trying to make friends with people, you don't just sit there and be like, hey, Pookie Bear. Like, I mean, as long as it's like, if it's a joke, it's fine. But like, if you're like actually, like, if you're, I can't even do it like genuinely because I don't do that. Like, okay, I'm trying to think. Okay, I walk up to Stellafaz. Someone I talk to usually during stream and such. We're moots? How do you say that word? Moots? We're mutuals. I walk up to Stellafaz and I'm like, hey, baby girl, you wanna go? I don't know. I can't flirt with people. I say something flirty, and then Stellafaz is like, She, like, Stellafaz has a right to be like, you know what I mean? Like, that's weird, you know, you don't do that. Okay, the example was weird, okay, I'm sorry, Stellafaz. I'm just saying, there's multiple red flags going up here. There's multiple. I'm sorry, you were the first VTuber I saw in chat, I had to. I need a new Oshi. Guys, my Oshi broken. I gotta go get a new one. She called me baby girl today. Okay, but no, for real though. Multiple red flags going up here. Anyone calling you like flirting with you after you tell them to stop flirting with you. Like if it's their personality, like maybe, but doing things like pet names and stuff, you can stop doing that. You know what I mean? You can stop doing that. That's like a self-control situation. And if this person is like making you uncomfortable by continuously doing that despite you telling them to not do that, like that's on them. Also, the whole like okay, I have multiple thoughts here. Vague tweeting on Maine and being like, a mutual unfollowed me and I'm like so hurt by it, everyone. Saying that like on Maine is crazy. like depressed tweeting on Maine is crazy. You gotta have some self-restraint, guys. Like, I mean, like, I understand if it's like, if you're tweeting something specifically to say, like, to your audience, like, hey, I'm gonna stop streaming because XYZ happened, or if I have to take, like, a break because of, you know, ABC, that's fine. But when you're just out there, like, venting on Maine, just being like, oh my god, everyone, one of my friends unfollowed me and now they hate me. I'm so hurt. Pity me publicly. That's the third red flag. And now we're at 3 red flags in this. So, no, I don't think you're the asshole. Frankly, like, okay, in theory, is it better to message them and say, like, hey, you're making me uncomfortable with all this, like, you know, I know you told me some, like, dark stuff, your secrets are safe with me, but, like, I just don't feel, like, comfortable anymore, so I'm gonna distance myself a bit. In theory, yes, doing that could be better, but at the same time, how many people are actually gonna do that? Like, realistically speaking, like, especially if you weren't in a good place and you were worried about a confrontation and whatever, ghosting someone is not that bad. Especially if you're not, like, best friends with them, you know what I mean? Because, like, it doesn't even sound like they messaged you personally and were like, hey, what's up? You know what I mean? Like, that's fine. I think you can message them and be like, hey, what's up? You unfollowed me, I noticed. Like, I don't want to call you out or anything. I'm just like, you know, you good? Like, are we good? You know? Like, something like that could have been done, but instead they just went publicly and was like, oh my god, everyone, I'm so happy. Like, I don't know. Based on the information I have in front of me, you're not the asshole. I think you might have dodged a bullet. You know? For real, on a private account, yeah, sure, people vent online all the time, but on Maine, yeah, I agree. I think that's because, you know, okay, the VTubing community is very saturated, right? So there's a lot of people that are trying to make it and a lot of people that are struggling to make it for a lot of different reasons, right? So it could be kind of sad a lot of the time for a lot of people, right? But, like, you gotta be positive, you know? Because, like, if you're always sitting there being negative, your audience is gonna think you're negative, and then it's not gonna help you grow at all. You're just gonna make it worse. So, I mean, like, you know, your viewers probably want something positive. If you're sitting there going negative publicly all the time, I don't know. Anyway, so I'm just saying, like, that's a problem that happens a lot, and it might be a good thing to distance yourself from things that make you uncomfortable and anything that puts you in a bad place, you know what I mean? Like, if they're bothering you like that, you know, yeah, in theory, you could say, like, hey, you made me uncomfy, yada, 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 etc., etc., I'm gonna go for a bit, you know? That's fine, but you don't have to do that. Realistically, ghosting someone is not that bad. It's not like you went out there and, like, call-out posted them or shit-talked them to other people or anything, you know what I mean? Like, I think you ghosting someone who you were, like, mutuals with, and they didn't even bother reaching out to you, especially for, like, weeks and weeks. Like, I think, you know, giving someone space is one thing, right? That's fine, right? Because, like, personally, if I message one of my friends and I'm like, okay, I haven't heard from them in, like, a week, you know, maybe I'll send up, like, a follow-up. But if they don't respond to the follow-up, I'm giving them space, you know what I mean? So, I don't know. It doesn't even sound like they reached out to you about it at all, though. So, like, I don't know. I don't think you're the asshole. The answer is no, in my opinion. No, you're not the asshole. Bro probably knows why OP ghosted and just doesn't want to accept the blame. Valid. Especially considering the whole, like, hey, stop flirting with me. I will do it anyway. Questionable behavior. Next story. an idol one. I see the word idol. Ooh. Am I the asshole for being angry at an Idol Fest organizer? The grammar is so good out here. At an Idol Fest organizer and talking shit about them afterwards. Ooh. Okay. So this is gonna be another yes and no based off the title for me. I think talking shit about people is always like a point where it's like maybe you're pushing it too far, but it does depend. It does depend, like, you know? So do I think you're an asshole for being angry at an Idol Fest organizer? No. Talking shit about them? Maybe. Depends. Let's read. Let us read. All right. Okay, this one's a little bit longer, chat. Buckle in. Buckle in, buckle in. Hi, Hebber Jebber. Am I the asshole for pointing out grammatical mistakes and making jokes about it? Well, yes, I am, but I do it all the time anyway. So like, you know, we're wrong together, you know. Okay, here we go. Am I the asshole for being angry at an Idol Fest organizer and talking shit about them afterwards? I recently performed at an Idol Fest for a very small convention. It was meant to be my debut, and of course, I am very happy that I got the chance to perform. Debut my original song. Ooh, congrats on the original. But several things made it a lot harder than it should have been. At the beginning, the organizer was very gracious. I had gotten into a car accident on the day I planned to record my audition, but the organizer extended the date for me to submit my audition. I submitted via email because of the application form being closed. My email account uses my IRL name, but I made it clear in my application email that I would be using a stage name. Oh no. I submitted it and confirmed it was received and all was well. Then I was accepted into the Idol Fest and started preparing my set. I practiced 2 songs, one of them being my original. When the organizer asked for audio files, I submitted them. I had to once again confirm that the email was actually received. The organizers would not respond to my emails unless I sent them a follow-up email. I see. I had to leave the country before the convention, and I wouldn't be back until 3 days before the convention. I asked if anything else was needed from me and got no reply. I had to email them from across the world to make sure everything was in order. All right, I'm seeing the red flags, they're going up, but I will save my thoughts for the end. I'm not a seasoned performer, and this is the only Idol Fest I've actually performed in. So I was stuck between thinking, quote unquote, this is unprofessional, and quote unquote, this is normal and I'm overreacting. So for about a month, I kind of just let it happen like this without telling anyone. Then 2 days before the convention, I checked the convention schedule and saw the person listed as the Idol Fest event host was not the person I'd been in contact with. I quickly DM'd both the listed host and the organizer of the convention on Instagram to make sure it was correct, and got answers from both, and got no reply from the convention. Eventually, after going back and forth between the organizer and the host, I found out that it was the organizer who was in charge, but the listed host was the MC. Then I asked both individuals if a set list and a lineup would be posted, to which the MC responded that the organizer is creating them now. This seemed fine to me. Nothing was posted online, but I figured since it's a small convention, it was normal. Day of the con came. I got ready and headed to the convention an hour early so I could do sound check, which I was told to do by the organizer, and there was nobody in the room. All caps, nobody in the room. I waited around for like 30 minutes until the organizer arrived. I was looking forward to getting to practice my vocals because I needed to be able to warm up. They couldn't figure out the microphone, which is fine. Ooh, that's not fine. I just danced and sang to myself. Then the worst of it came. The organizer pulled out the set list sheets that they had printed, and several problems were there. Some of the acts had NA listed as their songs. One act just said TBA, and to top it all off, I was not on the set list at all. I asked where I was, and the organizer looked me up and down and asked me, "Did you actually get accepted to the Idol Fest?" Oh my god. That question made me so angry. I had been communicating with them for over a month now, and they asked me if I was accepted. I kept my cool and said, "Yes, my name is redacted. I've been communicating with you for a long time." They then told me that apparently they just imported the set list information from the Google Form application. They didn't double check anything, and because I submitted via email because of the delay, I wasn't listed at all. Then, when I mentioned my stage name again to confirm my identity and I was the one they were emailing, they said that they had me down as my IRL name instead of my stage name I had been using to communicate the whole time. They spent the rest of the morning crossing out TBA and writing my name. I was livid. Oh my god. Because of their mistake, the audience would not know who I was or what my songs were. I kept my cool and the con went smoothly. Several acts for the show did not even show up. The MC was very nice and helpful and was able to help me. The MC announced me despite not having the introduction blurb, and I was able to perform. Afterwards, I did not see the organizer for the rest of the con. After that day, I realized how unprofessional this was. Despite it being my first Idol Fest, I know that there's a certain level of respect and professionalism you must have. I end up telling a group that there's a group of others in the Idol community that if a convention they plan to perform at has this person listed as the organizer, to skip the Idol Fest. I know I shouldn't talk about people behind their backs, but I'm 18, and this individual is 22, not sure, I know they're older than 20. And even as an amateur and a younger person, I know that their actions were strange. So I told people the story and told them to not perform with them. Was that wrong? I know that things can go badly and technical difficulties and printing issues, etc., but this felt like a whole other level. At one point I was worried my debut would go horribly because of how many things went wrong with this person. Am I the asshole? Whew! Okay, wow. No, you're not the asshole. I'm telling you that straight here. So, let's talk about Idol Fests, shall we? I am seasoned! I am seasoned! I've done all sorts of quote-unquote Idol Fests, in various ways. Before there were Idol Fests, there were masquerades, and that's where we all performed. We all being, me and Stellar, and then, like, the maybe 5 or 6 other idol groups, I guess, that existed at that general time a decade ago. Mimi, an idol? Shocking, right? Nah, this is yikes, right? Shit, tuck them all you want. Oh, I'm writhing. Yeah. As someone who's been angry at Idol Fest and similar event organizers before, yes. Yes, so this is crazy, but unfortunately it is common. So lots of smaller events or events that have never been run before, not all of them, a lot of them are like good, especially nowadays. Like if you do something run by like Next Stage, like they're great at what they plan, and like even their first event was good. So like it depends, but you have to be at an event by someone who actually cares about what they're doing, and unfortunately a lot of the time you won't know that until it's too late. So, wow, okay, where do we start with this? It was a small convention, okay? That's probably where they were like, oh, well, the con probably was like, we want an Idol Fest. We see Idol Fests are doing well at these other cons. We want an Idol Fest, so we're gonna do one. And then they put someone in charge of it who doesn't know what they're doing. My God, okay. First of all, I can feel the sheer incompetence emanating from the room over here with the whole, like, oh, we just pulled the set list over from the Google form. They didn't care about that event. I'm telling you right now, the organizer, calling them an organizer is like a slap in the face, because like anyone who's organizing should be organizing. They should have looked through their list. Their list could not have been that long. Idol Fests are not that long. It could not have had more than, like, what, 30 names maximum on it? Maybe 50 if we're being generous and it's all groups of 9, right? Okay, I don't know. Like less than 100 names even. And you can write that down. Especially if it's only groups, you probably only have, like, somewhere between 5 and, like, 10 groups. You said some of them didn't even show up, which, like, that's bound to happen at smaller events that aren't organized as well. But the organizer should have been prepared for that. That is in no way your fault. The fact that you were like emailing them and like they should have put you on a list that they wrote themselves, not a copied over list, a list where they went through everything, checked in with other groups that had things that said NA or TBA. They should have checked with them and said, what are we saying for you here? You know what I mean? if the organizer accepted people who wrote NA or TBA for their songs, that is, yeah, no. See, I think it's interesting. Okay, it's interesting because if you're like a cosplay group, you should have your songs picked at the very least. You know what I mean? Because I'm assuming, like, typically speaking, applications for these things open within like somewhere between 2 and like 5 months before the actual event, right? So by that point, if you're in like a bigger group especially, you should have at least had your songs picked. If you're gonna change your songs later, like, then you can like deal with that later, right? But you should have had some songs picked for the event. You know what I mean? Honestly, you didn't even say anything about like an acceptance email or anything. So frankly, maybe anyone who applied got in. I don't know. That's kind of what it sounds like if they just took it from the thing over. So they clearly just didn't know what they were doing. And ignorance, frankly, listen, you can be ignorant to a point, but I think there's a point where it's like, okay, this is on the organizer regardless of whether or not they knew how to do it or not. Because it is so easy to go online and Google the word Idolfest at XYZ Con and just watch, like, skim through videos of how it's done before, you know what I mean? And then you can get like a sort of sense of it. If you cared at all for the event you were organizing, it wouldn't have had half of these problems. Also, like, okay, I can kind of give leniency for like them being a little bit late for your sound check. I shouldn't be giving leniency for that, but that's like humanly understandable. But like if you're organizing an event and you just got songs that just say TBA, like, hello? Or I'm sorry, you have songs that say NA, or like TBA is listed as like the group name or whatever, the soloist name. That's insane to me. That's insane. This was just like a doomed from the start sort of thing. I have performed at small events before. There was it was technically a masquerade, but it was essentially an idol fest with the way that it was like held, you know what I mean? But it was at a teeny tiny con. I performed in it with Darling Idols. It was called CPAC. It was a very small con in like somewhere in New Jersey, I think. I don't remember. I only went the one time. And the organizer of the masquerade was like very new. She didn't ever organize anything like that before. And I was like, oh, there's a lot of issues with this. And before the event, I just emailed her and I was like, hey, just so you know, like, I think maybe we would, like, this event would benefit from you doing like this or that or this or that. You know what I mean? I was just like, I've been in Idol Fest before. If you want to, you know, use any of these are just some suggestions, you know, no worries, whatever. I worded it in a way that was like, you know, not pushing any buttons, you know what I mean? But, and then that organizer emailed me back and was like, this is extremely helpful, thanks for the information, yada yada. So I mean, it is, for a lot of small cons, you can expect them to be kind of rough, but things like they couldn't figure out the microphone, which is fine, that's not fine. It's not fine at all. They can't turn on the microphone. Are you kidding me? Like, how are they gonna, I don't know. Like, I'd be like, you're gonna turn on the fucking microphone. Like, you need me to come look at it? Because, like, where's your sound guy? You know what I mean? I don't know. And I know cons are typically run by a lot of, like, you know, volunteer people. But even volunteer people can Google things. You know what I mean? There's no excuses in this day and age. You know what I mean? Like, you have to have someone semi-competent running events like this. You know what I mean? You can't just slap anyone's name on it and be like, yeah. And, like, the fact that they were, like, borderline ready to dox you is crazy to me. That's crazy to me. Random piece of advice for you. Make an email specifically for your idol stuff. I have contact Miyotashi as my email. You could just be like, contact me at gmail.com. Just make an email for that. It's super easy. It'll make your life easier. You don't have to worry about things like that. But yeah, there's like a bare minimum that was not met here. Exactly, Plasma. I agree. Yeah, there's a lot. You are not the asshole for being mad. Frankly, I don't even think you're the asshole for quote unquote shit talking, because that's not even shit talking. That's just you being like, wow, that event was run horribly. And it doesn't even seem like the host cared at all. I mean, based off what you said, obviously I don't know them, but it sounds like that based on this. Like, they didn't Like just them, the copying over the names from the Google form and not checking it says so much to me. It really does. So no, that's not at all. Okay, anyway, you're not the asshole in any capacity. The age of the person, like they're an adult, they're older than 20, like, you know, maybe they shouldn't have been the person put in charge, so maybe we should be blaming whoever put them in charge of it. But frankly, I'm down to blame this person. I don't know who they are, but that was not acceptable. That's not acceptable. The bare minimum, just in case anyone's listening who's like, I'm gonna go host an Idol Fest, you know, great for you. Bare minimums, okay? Go back and, like, check and make sure all of your, you know, performers are, like, real. You know what I mean? Look at their social media or something, you know, be like, okay, this person is like, or this is clearly a, like, established dance group. This person is this and that. If you don't, after vetting everyone, if you don't have enough acts, you can do, like, sign up on the spot sort of acts or something. And then, like, if there's people who are there, you could do that, put them at the end of the show or something, so that you can give everyone who actually did do it properly, like, their time. If you need to fill time as, like, a concern, you could do that. You could give everyone, like, slightly longer set lists if that's the case. You have lots of options. But you have to vet your performers, number one. If it's a small con, you are inevitably going to have people dropping out, because people drop out of big cons. You know what I mean? Like, unfortunately, not all of your event performers, like the groups and stuff, are going to be able to do everything, whether they cared or whether they just got in trouble with certain things or whatever. Like, there's gonna be problems, and you're not always gonna have everyone showing up, but you have to be ready for that as an organizer. And to me, it just sounds like this person was just 55 steps beyond where they needed to be, and behind where they needed to be, frankly. Yeah, so if you want to run an Idol Fest, vet your performers, number one, first and foremost. Make sure you have somebody who at least sort of knows what they're doing, or at least knows how to Google the make and model of sound equipment to figure out what's going on back there. Make sure you are in good contact with, like, the convention itself, so that if you need something, you can get it done. And also, talk to all of your performers. Make a clear way of communicating. Lots of actual Idol Fests will talk to people via Discord. They'll make a Discord server for events like Idol Fests, and then you join it. They send important information in there. They add everyone if they need to. They have, like, people you can ask questions to if you need to do it. Like, that is, like, a level of care that really should be going into these events, even if it's not, like, a crazy thing. Like, it doesn't need to be insane. It could just be, like, you have a question channel and an announcement channel, and that's it. It could be that easy. You know what I mean? Or you could just ask for everyone's emails and do it that way, because that's how most masquerades are held. They just make sure they're up in their emails, but they have someone checking those and writing it down. You know what I mean? I'm so sorry that happened to you. I hope your debut went well enough for you. If you want to perform your original song, like, somewhere else again to, you know, give it more, like, love or whatever, or your set list as a whole or anything, I highly suggest you can do that. Maybe apply for a bigger con, you know what I mean? It sucks because I think so many small cons have that potential. It's just they're not putting the right people in charge of things, and then once it goes wrong the first time, it automatically kind of makes it a bad, like, word in people's mouths for, like, next time, which, frankly, I mean, yeah. You have a bad experience at a con, at, like, an Idol Fest. Like, if I went to Bozo Con, all right, I don't know if that's a thing, but I'm making it up right now. If I went to Bozo Con and I performed at the Bozo Fest, and then I was like, wow, that was the worst experience of my life. Never go perform at Bozo Fest. No one's gonna go perform at Bozo Fest. You know what I mean? They're gonna be like, wow, it sounded like she had a horrible experience. I don't want to go have a horrible experience. I'm not gonna do that. Anyway, you get it. So if you're gonna host an event, you should at least kind of sort of know what you're doing. Anyway, no, you're not the asshole. Sorry for the tangent. Let's go to the next one. Whoa. All right. Am I the asshole for not paying my composer? Based off the title, yes. What? What a title. Okay, this is a short one. Let's read for some context. About a year ago, I commissioned a song to be made. I had already written the lyrics and the melody. That's the top line. But I had no instrumental, so I commissioned one. The producer actually made a great offer. They said that they would make the song for free if I agreed to sing in one of their future songs for free. I agreed to do it. After the song was made, they made no effort to reach out to me and ask me to sing for them. I'm not sure if that's on me as the commissioner, but they gave me this offer and I accepted. I'm not sure if I'm the asshole. I feel bad about not paying them regardless of money or vocals. So what should I do? Am I the asshole? No. Okay, never mind. Hold on. You're not the asshole. Perhaps if I were you, I'd shoot them a message and be like, I'm still available for this if you ever need, you know. But they exclusively said, like, no money, you know. You had us in the first half. So true. You did have us in the first half with that. Okay, but yeah, no. If they literally said, like, I'll do it for free if you do this thing in the future for me, I think that's totally fine. You're not the asshole. I would, you know, I mean, I also don't think it's on you. I think that's on them to reach out to you when it's time. And if you say you're not going to do it in the future, then that would be on you. But, no, I think, you know, if you're worried about it, you can always just say, like, hey, any updates on this? No worries. If not, just wanted to let you know I'm still available for it. You know, a little message, courtesy message never hurt. But no, you are not the asshole. OP, explain yourself. They had us in the first half, not gonna lie. Yeah, so true. And Mexico, hi, welcome. Crazy. All right, we got another short one here. Next. No, you're not the asshole. Boom. We've got, this one. Am I the asshole for being a person of color Latino cosplay? For being a POC Latino cosplayer? What? No? What the fuck? No. For just being? Huh? No. No, you're not. I don't even think you could change my mind on this one unless you're about to tell me you're actually white and you're just cosplaying as a like if you're cosplaying as a person of color Latino person and you're actually white, then maybe, but like if that's not it, if you're just generally a person of color Latino person who is a cosplayer, no. Why would you? Huh? Okay, I need context. Let's go. I exist, Amita. Okay. Hello, Mimi. Hi! Oh, another person said hi to me. I am a person of color Latino cosplayer. Fairly recently, I had been invited to join in on a cosplay group as a character who I was already working on. The character is a great representation, and I've been so excited to cosplay him. I was chatting/meeting people I would be cosplaying with at a con, so we would get to know each other. I was talking with one of the members, and they said to me, quote, I am planning on cosplaying them too. But since I can't be both characters, I think you'll make a good one. They have like asterisks here for the character names. I don't know if you're okay, hold on. We might need to keep reading. I'm not sure if they meant like, okay, I'm going to say A and B. I'm going to say A and B. I don't know if they meant like, I want to cosplay A also, but because I can't be both, I think you'd be a good B, or I think you'd be a good A. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Sorry if this is complicated. Okay, I was talking with one of the members, and they said to me, I am planning on cosplaying A too, but since I can't be both characters, I think you'd make a good A. I was kind of taken back because it came a bit out of nowhere. I hyped them up as one does because we don't character claim here. Oh, okay, so they were going to cosplay the same character as you. I see. We continued the conversation, and I mentioned how I am excited to be able to speak Spanish as the character and not feel awkward. Aw. You shouldn't feel awkward regardless. But feel like it brings me closer to him. They then said, quote, well, I can speak Spanish too, ... though you're probably more fluent than me. I was really stunned. I couldn't tell. Was that a microaggression? They are white. Was it me being too sensitive? I don't know, but it stuck with me a lot, and it makes me not want to do the group with them because I don't want to deal with more of that behavior. Advice? Okay, whoa, all right, so. Oh my. Hi, fool, welcome. I exist. Is this a bad thing? No. Okay, first of all, you're not the asshole. Okay, crazy that they were like, This feels like, microaggressions, I think is the word for it. I'm planning on cosplay. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna just put a name there. I'm planning on cosplaying, Miku too. Hatsune Miku. But since I can't be both characters, I think you'd make a good Hatsune Miku. Miku's not a person of color Latino character, but you get it. I was then taken aback because that came out of nowhere. That feels like, oh, I wanted to cosplay this Spanish character, but I think you'll make a good one. You look Spanish. Like, that's what it's giving. And it's like, what? 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 Yeah, what? That feels... It's giving me the ick. It's giving me the ick. Personally, I'm getting the ick from that. I'm also getting the ick from, well, I can speak Spanish too. Though you're probably more fluent than me. Like, looks you up and down. You're probably more fluent than me because you look Spanish. You know? It's giving me the ick. It's giving me the ick. Personally, I'm getting the ick from that. I will also say, there's like a lot of people, a lot of white people that are like, actually, I am 0.23% Hispanic, so therefore I am, I don't know, Puerto Rican, or I am Cuban, or I am Mexican, I am, etc., you know? And they're like, well, I am 0.23% that, so therefore I am that. And it's like, okay, but if you're white, and your mom's white, and your dad's white, and your grandpa's white, you see where I'm going with this? Like, it's like, okay, yes, but also... And, like, if you're not celebrating, like, that culture, like, if that's not, you know what I mean? Like, there's, like, I mean, I'm not the person to be talking on this. This is just my personal opinion on it. I'm just, like, as a white person, if I see other white people being like, well, I'm not, like I'm only 2% Spanish, etc., but, like, I know Spanish is the language and not the, you get it, whatever. I'm 2% Latino, so therefore I am, you know... like, I can speak Spanish and I celebrate all these holidays and do everything this and that, but it's like, if you don't actually, you know, celebrate the culture and your family doesn't either, and you just kind of think it's, like, cool to, like, it makes you look cool to, like, say that you are, you know what I mean? That sort of situation. There's a lot of people who do that, and it's always given me the ick. It gives me the ick, because, like, alright, yes, like, okay, I guess maybe I'm not a good example because my parents are, I don't know. Okay, my dad and my entire side of that family is Italian, and they have, like New Jersey's Italian specifically, not, like, whatever. I mean, like, my family's from, like, Sicily, but, like, that's the point. Like, you know what I mean? My family's from Sicily. I don't have an Italian accent. I hardly even have a New Jersey accent like my parents do. I mean, I do, but not that bad. And... not that it's bad, you know what I mean? Not that strong, I should say. So, I don't know. It's just, like, I'm not gonna sit here and be like, oh, mamma mia, pizzeria, you know what I mean? Because, like, like, what? If an actual Italian person looked at me and saw me saying that, now, I look like a white bitch, too. Like, I don't look Italian. It's like, you know, there's, like, a level where it's like, okay, you're pushing it. And this person feels like they're pushing it. You know what I mean? This person feels like they're pushing it. And also just, like, the generalized microaggressions are certainly not helping the case, where it's just like, well, you look more like you look more like it, so, like, I bet you're more fluent. You know what I mean? It's giving white privilege, and I don't really like it. It's giving me an icky sticky, and I don't like it. Is it too late to submit a story? Nope, you can submit it. I have it pinned in the chat, the link. You can go submit stories. Any ones that get submitted during the stream, I have to, like, vet before I read them out loud, though, but, you know. Yes. You can submit one, go ahead. But yeah, no, you're not the asshole for simply existing and wanting to cosplay a character that is the same, culture, race, etc., whatever, I don't know the character or the situation, but whatever they are, if they identify similarly to how you do, you know what I mean, like, why? No, in no way are you the asshole. You did say advice, so, my advice to you is cosplay whoever the hell you want, as long as you're not, like, black-facing or something, okay, that's a strong point there, don't blackface, and you know what, while we're at it, yes, black people or people of color, Latino people, etc., etc., etc. Yes, you could cosplay characters that are quote-unquote white. Because, newsflash, most of the time from anime, they're not actually white. They're Japanese. So, anytime, I hate that I see this. I see this all the time on social media, but people be commenting on, like if a black cosplayer was cosplaying, there's this one black cosplayer who was cosplaying Sailor, Venus, I think it's Sailor Venus, the blonde one that's not Sailor Moon. Yes, Sailor Venus. And she absolutely killed it. She looked great. She was using her actual skin tone, which is black, you know what I mean? And she looked fantastic, but there were so many comments on it that were like, oh, Stellar Venus isn't black, actually. She wasn't in the wrong. You racist people are. That's the problem. You're the problem, okay? Now, that being said, you can cosplay whoever the fuck you want to, as long as you're not sitting there changing your skin tone to match the character, okay? Are we all good on that? You can't, don't blackface yourself. Don't whiteface yourself, you know what I mean? Like, you don't have to lighten your skin to match a character either. Is whiteface a word? I don't know. I might have just made that up. But, you know what I mean? Like, you don't have to change your skin tone, you know what I'm saying? To match a character. You just be yourself, cosplay who the fuck you want, okay? You don't need to have the same body type as him. You don't need to have the same height, the same gender, the same skin color, okay? People are insane. People are insane. Just cosplay what you want to cosplay, as long as you're not, I don't know, being culturally inappropriate, etc., etc., yada yada. You get it, okay? You get it, you understand. Next! No, you're not the asshole. Oh, and my advice to you, if it makes you uncomfortable, just cosplay who you want. Maybe you don't join the group. Maybe take some photos with them, then leave. You know, it's not that deep. You don't have to force yourself to hang out with someone who's making you uncomfortable. That's my advice to you. Stay thriving, cosplay who you want. I bet you look great. Okay, next. Am I the asshole for not talking to my old cosplay group anymore? Based off of the title, no. You could stop talking to people whenever the fuck you want to stop talking to people if they make you uncomfy. That's my professional opinion, and I'm always right except for the times that I'm wrong. But I'm always right. Okay. Let's go. This one's a little... Actually, no, it's not that long. It's like... This was like a mid-length one. Okay. Kind of long story. Sorry, in parentheses. My friends whom I've cosplayed with for years, and I don't talk to them anymore. One friend in specific I was very close with, and we hung out a lot. Back during lockdown, I helped them through a breakup, and they specifically told me multiple times that they wished to remain friends. Leading up to an East Coast Con in 2023, they talked to me less and less, and the new person they are seeing seemed to be very dismissive of me, and seems like they wanted them to keep... And they seemed like they wanted to keep this new partner away from me. We used to share the con rooms together all of the time, and I was never contacted about a room for this specific convention, so I planned on driving there for one day. In parentheses, I later told them that if I could read, I'd be so good. I'd be so great if I could read chat. I later found out that they told a mutual friend that they didn't want my partner meeting their new partner because they thought he would piss them off due to his personality. Wait, hold on. They thought that he would piss them off due to his personality. Like, your boyfriend would... Wait, I just assumed your partner was a guy. My bad. Oh, you said he. Never mind. I didn't assume. They thought that he... Interesting. Okay, continuing along. Up until this point, I still thought that they were somewhat in good terms with their ex, due to the fact that they barely spoke to me up until this con. My partner and I still talked to this ex, and had mentioned that we were going to this con, and they said that they were also going to go, despite not really caring for cons previously. We never invited them along, they just decided to go themselves. When I told S... that's a typo. When I told them that I was at the con, they said they never... Chat, I can't read. When I told them that I was at the con, They said that they had a photo shoot soon and that they were just standing around waiting for everyone. No answer. They said that they had a photo shoot soon, and I said that we were just standing around waiting for everyone. No answer. I see. Oh my god. Not even a, hey, meet us here. Hours later, they asked if we were free now and we could go up to their room, or if we could join them for dinner later that night. But I said that we needed to leave by 6 p.m. to go home. I had work the next day. I figured that it would be best to mention that their ex had showed up rather than to just show up with their ex with us, so that I could break away from the ex and my partner to meet them if I had to before leaving myself. After I mentioned it, they never texted me again. I shrugged it off and left the con. I later found out that my text had sparked a panic attack in them and that all of our friends had told them to stop answering me. I had no idea that this reaction would come about because last I heard from them, they were still on good terms. Since then, we've not spoken, and they never offered any congratulations to mine and my partner's engagement after the con. They still spoke to a mutual friend and expressed to them that they wanted to go to my wedding. When this mutual had asked if they had contacted me, they said no. I quickly realized that it would be in my best interest to move on from everything. Very recently, I discovered that they uploaded a video to YouTube and that one small part they admitted to talking shit about someone, and although they never said my name, they gave obvious hints and called me a bitch, including singing the wedding song. The wedding song? Was that like do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do? Is that the wedding song? Am I the asshole here? I admit I could have worded things differently and done things differently, and I regret that, but am I fully in the wrong here? Okay, hold on. There's a lot to unpack in this onion. This is an onion. This sounds more like they kind of ghosted you. That's, yeah, actually. Interesting. Okay, there's layers to this onion. How do you get a panic attack from a text? Everyone in the story should grow up. Kind of based. I kind of agree. Okay, I don't know. Okay, so, okay, it's you and your partner. You're friends with this person and their previous partner who's now their ex. And then they have a new partner who doesn't, or who they're worried that wouldn't like your partner. So, like, the partners here are all having some, like, inside beef, is what I'm getting from this. So, like, okay, there's like 4 parties here. Okay, but you're still friends with the ex. And then they went to the con. You didn't invite them, but they went. And you told them that, okay, so you were gonna meet up with this person, like, at the end of the day, basically. And then they told you... I'm trying so hard right now, chat. I really am. Okay. They told you to come up to their room, and you said, "Okay, but I'm right now with your ex. So do you want me to come alone?" Is basically what I'm getting out of that. And then they didn't respond, and then that caused a panic attack. The fact that you were with their ex. Interesting. Okay, so couple layers here. One, to come to their side, I think it's kind of valid to be like, oh, you're with my ex? That scares me. Because, like, whether or not you know what happened in their relationship, you know, you never know what happens behind closed doors. They could have had, like, a bad relationship or something where I'm like, huh? Like, you know, so maybe the fact that you were, like, with them or, like, maybe still, like, close friends with them or something, it might have, like, scared them or something. Do I think the panic attack thing is a little dramatic? Yeah. I mean, I don't have all the information, so, like, maybe it's not. Like, you know, maybe there was something real bad or something, you know what I mean? Maybe it's not. But, like, I do think that they should have responded to you at least and said, like, that makes me uncomfortable. You know what I mean? There should have been, like, something there. And you said they're with a bunch of their friends that I'm assuming are, like, in the room with them. Assuming, right? Maybe one of their friends should have had the common sense to say that as well, but I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. And the fact that after they... Okay, so they didn't talk to you at the con, but then, like, afterwards they wanted to go to your wedding, but they didn't say anything regarding your engagement or anything? but they were like mad that you didn't invite them to your wedding. That's kind of weird to me. Cause like if you didn't talk to this person for months and months, like why would you invite them to your wedding? You know what I mean? You know? Like I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Like are they just mad that you got married and they weren't there, but like they didn't want to be there because they don't want to be your friend because you were like in the same vicinity as their ex or something? Like I don't know. Like I can see both. I see both sides. But like I don't know. Like if I were gonna say like you could have done something better, like I don't know, because you explicitly said so that I could break away from them, like from your partner and her ex, right? Right? So, hold on, I'm confused. So you explicitly said like, oh, I can break away from them if him being there would make you uncomfortable, right? So if you said that to them, like, I don't think you're in the wrong at all. You know what I mean? Like, I don't understand why they're mad about that, like unless they misunderstood you, because like obviously it sounds like you weren't just gonna walk up to their room with the ex in tow, you know what I mean? Because like then I'd be like, damn, what's your problem, you know what I mean, without even like telling them. But you gave them like the warning and then like said like if that, like, you know, if you don't want them there I can just come alone basically. But they just like ghosted you after that. Which, like, I mean, I can see why that could potentially make the other person uncomfortable, but I don't think that warrants, like, the rest of it. Like, I don't think they should have, like, ghosted you, what sounds like indefinitely after that, if you guys were, like, close friends. Because you said you cosplayed with them for years. Yeah, so I don't know. This feels like a lack of communication got spiraled out of control. That's what I think. I think a lack of communication got spiraled out of control. That's what I think. That's my opinion. But you know, without further context, I can't really comment, I guess. I don't know. So no, you're not the asshole, I don't think. I do not believe you are the asshole. I don't know if I believe they're the asshole either, but, like, I don't think you are for sure. You know, because, like, interesting. It's very interesting. Some vague bits make me going, I wish I knew more to follow along better and allow judgment. Yeah, I agree. I think some of it is, like, a little, like, huh? Because to me it sounds like they were just busy in the daytime and wanted to meet up with you at night, and you were like, well, they haven't reached out to me all day, so that like hurt your feelings. But then when they did reach out to you, you were like, okay, by the way, I'm with this other person, but I could leave if you want. And then they were like, I will say nothing. So I don't know, sounds like a very complicated issue. Maybe you guys weren't great friends. I don't know. I mean, like, if something like that was enough for, like no communication to, be exchanged is the word I'm looking for. If that one situation was enough for absolutely no communication to be exchanged between the two of you for presumably, because you said during lockdown, but you were friends for years cosplaying pre-lockdown, and then you had something in 2023, which is like 3 years into lockdown. So, I don't know. Maybe, I'm just saying, like, if that's like 3 years, if this one situation in 2020, wait, I might have misread that. I don't know. Either way, if this one situation made it long enough that you guys didn't speak for like a very long time, and then like they were like mad that you didn't invite them to their wedding, but they also didn't say anything at all. I don't know. Like it just sounds like somebody's a little too stubborn to say anything. You know what I mean? I feel like if you want it to be like, if you want to resolve it, you got to have some clear communication with this person. And if you don't, then well, I guess you don't even have to do anything. You could simply just leave it as it is because you're not talking to them anymore. But if you want to talk to them, I think, you know, someone's got to give and speak some words. Those are my opinions. I don't know. I hope communication helps you. Okay, next. Are you reading them at random? I'm going through the initially the initially vetted ones first, but I'll go through the last ones at random because everybody's submitting them in a seeming order. So I'll go through those at random to keep it anonymous. But these ones that were submitted beforehand, I will read them. Okay, am I the asshole for getting a VTuber suspended for being underage? Ooh. Okay, well, I want to say no. I guess it depends on how you went about it. Okay, coming from someone who was underage for quite literally half of their content creation career. Okay, a little less than half nowadays because it's been even longer. I was like 12 when I made my Instagram account for the first time, and then I just started doing social media. So I was 12 through 18 at some point on the internet being a content creator. So like coming from that, granted I'm 23 now, so, oh wait, that is like half, isn't it? Interesting. Well, hi Ibu, welcome. You're late, no worries. We're still going, no worries. I hope you're doing well, Ibu. Hope you're doing well. But yes, so, I don't know, I think it depends. It depends because, like, I don't know, I do think minors really should not be online like that. But as someone who was a minor and online like that, like, I can kind of, like, see the, you know, as long as they're not getting involved with anything, like, too adult. Granted, because, you know, when I was a minor online, I was in the My Little Pony fandom, so, like, it was pretty, you know, safe, you know, as safe as it needed to be. I turned out fine, right? Well, anyway, next, reading it. Let's read it for context. Am I the asshole for getting a VTuber suspended for being underage? So for some background, I'm pretty active in the streaming community. And through a friend, I met another streamer. Let's call this streamer C. This streamer originally had seen them through getting seen through... if I could read. This streamer, originally, I had seen them through them getting called out for some not so culturally sensitive remarks and their branding. So they ended up getting called out for it. Due to this, I personally reached out to them to help educate them and give them some tips on better branding. This is how I got to know this person. I ended up hovering around their server for a little bit, and I started seeing some real red flags. Them talking about being under the age of 15. Oh, that's like young. That's young. Posting concerning content, engagement farming and guilt tripping people. I'm talking typical child online behavior. To keep it vague, there was a plethora of really concerning behavior. Like, I'm talking sexual jokes and stuff with members in their Discord, majority of which were 18 plus. Oh my god. No, you're not the asshole. Whoa. Okay. A little bit left here. Because of this, I ended up asking them about it, to which any mentions of their age was banned. This ended up becoming even more concerning because they started being promoted by larger people with 18 plus audiences, and they even got promoted by an account that primarily posted NSFW. Ooh! I tried talking to them about it again, but they refused to listen and began posting NSFW content that was out of their age range, and it made me feel so frustrated. I ended up reporting their account, and they ended up getting suspended. And a good handful of people found out they were lying about their age and sneaking into spaces they weren't supposed to be in, to which they decided they didn't want to come back to streaming anymore. I feel bad. I may have crushed their dreams, because they had a pretty decent following too, but it was under the guise of a lot of themes that someone who's between the ages of 13 and 15 should not be engaging in. And it felt like it was the last resort, considering what happened and their repeated behaviors, even when I tried to speak to them. So am I the asshole? Ooh, hell no. Okay, you saved a child. Literally saving that child. Yes, yeah, literally. No, that you're not the asshole. It probably feels bad, and like that child is probably very upset that they can't be their little VTuber or whatever anymore, and like, you know, whatever. But they were putting themselves, probably unknowingly, maybe knowingly, who knows, they're a minor, probably, so therefore probably unknowingly, but you get it, into very dangerous situations, and like they should not have been dealing with any of that. They should not have been that sort of thing. I don't know. Young kids that talk about stuff like that are probably just trying to seem cool, and that's just very dangerous for a child. That's not it. You saved that child. And you know what? When they're 18, maybe they'll give it another shot. You know what I mean? Where are their parents and or guardians? That is the question we should be asking, frankly. But yeah, like, this isn't even just the case of, like, a VTuber was underage. This is the case of an underage person was, like, being, like, an inappropriate sexual, like, VTuber, was talking to a bunch of people who were over the age of 18. Like, no, that's not... You helped that person. You helped that person. Whether they know it or not, you helped that child. Literally a child. No, you are not the asshole. I hope they give it another shot after realizing that things were wrong when they are an adult. But, no, you are not an asshole. What the... I hope you reported them on Discord, too, to get them away from the groomers. Ooh, so true. Ooh, if you haven't done that, maybe something to consider. Not all heroes wear capes, and this is that scenario. So true. They're putting themselves in danger. Yeah, for sure. I know, like, minors hearing that is probably like, what the hell? No. Because, like, when I was 16, I wanted to make art for BronyCon for their, like, convention. I wanted to, like, draw their, like, display banner art and stuff. And I emailed them and I was like, here's my portfolio. Look, I really want to do this. Can we do it? I'll do it for free. Yada, 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 whatever, And they were like, we love your art, but you're a minor and we can't do that. And I was so upset about it at the time. And I was like, fine, I'll come back when I'm 18. The con closed by the time I was 18, okay? But still, I was, like, really upset about it at the time. But, like, looking back, yeah, I was a minor. Also, my art wasn't that good, but I was a minor. Like, you can't just be, like, getting, like, child labor or anything grooming related, anything like that. Like, you don't want to, no, As a kid, it seems like this sucks, but oh my god, appreciate the people, yes, who can keep you away from things like that, yes, for sure. For sure. Not the asshole, you saved a child. Congratulations, pat yourself on the back to that child. Sorry, but you'll learn one day. 12! Number 12! Next! Am I the asshole for wanting cosplay photos with a planned group? What the fuck? No? No? Why would you be? Huh? For what? Huh? Okay. Let me read this after I put my hair up. Hold on. I'm struggling. Okay, woo! Alright. Okay, so I made these friends that were kind of into the Vocaloid Evelius Chronicles series. Is that Servant of Evil? Is that what that is? And we decided to cosplay the Miku, Rin, and Len characters from an arc of that story, the Servant of Evil Pride arc. Okay, yes. I was planning on cosplaying Michaela, who was the Miku character, and a pretty niche choice in the Vocaloid Evelius community to cosplay. So I was really excited to do her in a group where people would actually know who I was and stuff. Okay, that makes sense, because it's like a very specific cosplay, and you want people to know who you're cosplaying. I agree. Makes sense. No one cosplays Michaela, Arklo, Miku, but you do see a lot of daughter, servant of evil, Rin, and Lens, yeah. Okay, I couldn't sew, so my grandma helped me create this dress from scratch over months and months of hard work. I planned out what poses we would all do as a group and dreamed of it. I couldn't drive at the time, so my grandparents took me to the convention several hours away, and I finally met up with these two friends, and it was great. We took one photo together and then got separated in the crowds of people. I messaged them so that we could get more photos, and they said they were changing into Kirito and Asuna from SAO back in their hotel room. They were unwilling to change back into their Evelius outfits, if I recall correctly. I was livid. They were in their outfits for like half an hour before sneaking away to change. I didn't get any of the photos I wanted. I was livid and I blocked them both. Later, a friend of the two messaged me to try to get me to make peace with them, which I didn't do as I found the entire situation was utterly bizarre, profoundly bizarre. Anyway, it's been years and I've since taken photos with other rebellious cosplayers, and I'm over it. Okay, interesting. Once again, I feel like this is a lack of communication situation, which is very common in the world, okay? But I don't think you're the asshole for wanting the photos. I do think it's kind of shitty that they just left without telling you, because what they should have done was say, like, hey, we're uncomfortable, or our wigs are giving us a headache, or this or that, yada yada. So we're thinking about going back to the hotel room. And then you could have said something like, okay, I really wanted to get a couple photos though. Can we do that really quick? Because, like, you said you got separated from them, and then they might have taken that as, oh, that's all you wanted. You could leave now. You know what I mean? Or like, we can go now if we're not comfortable or whatever, you know what I mean? Or maybe they just really wanted to cosplay the Kirito and Asuna thing, you know what I mean? So I feel like you're just lacking the communication, which sucks, because it does seem like you tried to communicate with them after they left, but things just didn't work out. I can see why that would be really frustrating for you, because you want to cosplay, like, you made your cosplay for months and months with your grandma and everything, and then, that happened. I'm happy you were able to get photos eventually, even if it wasn't with them, but I don't think anyone is necessarily the asshole here. I think there was just a supreme lack of communication, which kind of led to some unfortunate circumstances, you know what I mean? But in the end, I'm glad you got photos that you wanted, you know what I mean, with other people. So hopefully that satisfied that for you. If you ever do want to try and make peace with them, I don't think it's a bad idea, you know what I mean? Like, maybe they were just, like, uncomfortable and they thought that was all you wanted, you know what I mean? I don't know the extent of your communication, so it's perhaps you were fine, you know what I mean? Perhaps it was just a little rickety, you know what I mean? A little rickety. Asshole titled avoided, Mimi approved, but good point on both sides. Yeah. I don't think anyone was in the wrong, but I also didn't think anyone was in the right necessarily, because cons are hectic. That's true. Yeah, cons are very crazy, especially if you're in, like, a crowded area. Okay, let's see. We're into the ones that are sent in during the stream now. So I don't have little titles for them. So what I'm gonna do is okay, we're gonna put this one in there blank. I'm gonna get my text on top of it. Oh, I don't know what the text says right now. Haha, oh, I'm flying away. The text says, haha, thanks. Okay, we're gonna put this here. Right in there. Yeah, okay, and then we're gonna type it in ourselves. Wonderful. Alright. Next story. Let's see. Boop, boop. Okay, I'm gonna skim it really quick. Everybody count to, like, 20. I need to make sure it's appropriate for stream. Okay, it's a longer one. Give me a second. Okay, I think this one's fine to read on stream. I think. Okay, I didn't read this that closely, so, we'll see. I don't even know what to title this, because there's no title. Am I the asshole for... Hold on, I don't even know what to title this. I didn't read that closely. Give me a second. Give me a second. Oh my god. Okay, All right, you know what? We'll decide the title together after I read it. How about that? Sound good? Sound good. Cool. All right, let's read it. My story is back in middle school. I went to a small member private school with my twin brother and our friend. This took place in the 8th grade. Long story short, the 7th and 8th graders were always an issue. Ah, those underclassmen. They would often band together against the three of us, bullying us and degrading us. You let young schoolers bully you? Oh, I'm so sorry. And disregarding us on a few occasions, with harming our property and like a couple physical altercations. One day, at the end of the classes, they ended up stealing one of our friend's brand new Xbox Naruto game that he paid $60 for. On the last day, since we always hung out, we were going to have a nice weekend together. We obviously knew who stole the game, and we went to every teacher and staff possible to handle it the right way first. Then we would be allowed to take care of it ourselves. Oh, what? Since the teachers didn't find it a priority at the moment or take it seriously. Okay, well, I see something. There's a problem with the teachers here. I made a plan to borrow as leverage / hostage every single art book they drew in. They drew comics and cartoons all of the time, so this would obviously be of value to them, with no intention to harm or destroy, and I very easily made it up to the 10 composition books full of drawings. All of this I would happily place back if the stolen $60 game was returned. The teachers didn't seem to think we were telling the truth and therefore didn't pursue or couldn't pursue it because it would be denied. Coincidentally, no mention of the books I took was ever brought up, and no one ever even brought them up. Of course, they couldn't have... sorry, I can't read. Of course, they couldn't because they were all in on the theft. So here are the books that still lie on my top shelf, never to be harmed or destroyed. I still have them and plan to return them when I am able to. As soon as I know how to get into contact with them. Times have changed. The past, and we should all forget and move on. Okay, what is this? Your, like, villain origin story? What is happening right now? Okay, am I the asshole for stealing art books from bullies? We'll title it that. Okay, I'm so confused. Okay, I don't think they cared. No one ever mentioned the stuff you stole. Are you even positive that they belonged to them? Also, I don't think two wrongs make a right. So maybe, stealing from a thief wasn't the ideal way to go about it. The teachers not doing anything about it is crazy. I feel like if you told the teachers, like, you thought that somebody stole your game and, like, they didn't do anything, the next possible step would be, like, at least in America, I don't know, but the next possible step would be, like, hey, mom and dad, the teachers aren't doing anything and they stole the game that, like, you just bought for me, or I just bought with my, like, lunch money or whatever, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like you would tell your parents, and then the parents would complain to the school, and then the school would do something about it. I mean, obviously you were kids, because you said you were in 8th grade, but yeah, an 8th grader stealing, like, a bunch of, like, art books from, like, 7th and 6th graders doesn't look great. The 6th grader stealing the game from the older kids doesn't do great either, but, I mean, also, like, I don't know, are you 100% positive they stole it and it wasn't just, like, misplaced or something? Like, I don't know. Either way, like, it could get escalated in theory. At least in America, it could get escalated, because, like, if you stole something from somebody that had, like, value to it or whatever, you ask the teachers, they don't do anything, you ask your parents, and then the parents try to get the school to do something. If they don't do something, then, like, you could always press, like a charge or something, you know what I mean? I don't know. The teachers were in on it. I don't know about that. I don't think the teachers gave two hoots about your Naruto game, I guess. But, the teachers being in on it, that's a theory. That's a game theory for sure. Are you the asshole for stealing art books from bullies? You're as much of an asshole as they are, I guess. I don't know. Two wrongs don't make a right. That's my that's my that's my conclusion. That's my conclusion. Okay, let's see. This one has a title. Let me skim it. Yum, yum, yum. Okay, I'm gonna have to mark out some names. Okay. I'll read this one. This one doesn't have anything to do with cons or cosplay or etc. But, you know, it's one in here. I'll read it. Am I the asshole for ruining my friend's relationship? I'll just leave it at that. Maybe. Let's read for context, shall we, chat? I am a 28-year-old male and recently had a friend who's a bit of a sucker who is somehow annoying, but the kind of guy in my friend group. Who is somehow annoying, but kind of a guy in my friend group. Oh, he's kind of in your friend group, I see. We recently had some beer in a mall while we were talking about another guy's relationship who recently had a breakup. Now the annoying dude brought hard liquor in the mall and jokingly mixed it with my beer. Now I'm not a heavy drinker, and I told my friends that I only drink beer since I'm only comfortable with that. Next thing I remember, I was in my friend's car with an ice bag on my head. Bro got drugged. Bro got oh my god. Okay? Basically, I somehow blacked out, and they took me back to the car, but knocked my head on the way. Oh, hold on. I just got another submission, and it sent me back up to the top. Hold on. And they knocked my head on the way. The annoying guy was not with us and said that he had to leave quickly. I was mad at him, so this was the final straw with him. So I had a plan. I had his contact number, and thanks to my friend, we had his girlfriend's phone numbers. Yes, it's plural. He's the kind of guy who takes advantage of girls, borrowing money and ghosting them. Ew. Ew. I secretly made him to meet up with all of them, and what happened was spectacular. He confessed to all of them, got arrested for stealing, and made him finally lose everyone he knew as he got fired from his job and work misconduct because of this. Bro, is this your fantasy dream that just came into the real world? This is like, bro was like dreaming in the middle of the night, and he was like, yeah, this would be so great if this happened. Oh my god. And then everyone clapped. Okay, let's go with this, assuming this is a very real, true story, okay? Are you the asshole for ruining your friend's relationship? Relationships, plural, right? Well, no, yes, well, no, cause, okay, first of all, you said the annoying, okay, so the annoying guy literally drugged you. So, that's messed up. Okay, they're the asshole for that. They're the problem on that end. I don't know how on earth you got into the situation where you didn't see them, like, doing that, so I'm sorry that happened to you. That's awful. They knocked your head on the way is crazy to me. They didn't say, like, oh, let's get you medical attention because our friend just passed out after drinking what we assumed was only beer. Let's go take you to the car and give you a concussion on the way. Huh? So, you know, maybe the friends are a little questionable here. Is it implied that the annoying guy is the one who hit your head because he left quickly after that? I don't know, maybe? Now, if all of this worked out as wonderfully and splendidly as you say it did here, and you got all of his girlfriend's phone numbers, they all met up with him at the same time, he confessed to all of them, and then simultaneously got arrested and lost his job at the exact same time. I mean, I guess he sounds like he got his comeuppance. Good for you. No, you're not the asshole. Wonderful, wonderful, and amazing. Next. The concussion was purely accidental. The friends, though, they hate him as much as I do. I see. All right. Maybe next time we tell our friends to call for medical attention instead of, accidentally concussing you on the way back to the vehicle. Because you said this was in like a mall, so I'm just envisioning they're like dragging your unconscious body through the mall and no one's questioning it. You bang your head on the door on the way out, and then they're all just like, Jesus, whoopsie doopsies. You know what I mean? Okay. I'm gonna skip around a little bit here just to keep it all a little, mixed up. In case you guys, sent them in orders. We're gonna keep mixing it up here. Okay. This one's a little long. Let's do this one. We'll come up with the title at the end. Am I the asshole? Something. Okay. In middle school, there was this girl who was pretty. Do I want to read this? Hold on. hold on. Mimi's gonna proofread. Hold on. Okay, wait. No, I think this one's fine. Okay. I was worried about where it was going, but I think it's okay. Okay, I don't know, maybe. I didn't read the whole thing. I'm skipping because, I'm not going to sit here and just read while you guys are listening to my silence. Okay. Let's read it. Okay, middle school. There was a girl who was pretty, and acted very mature and kind of like an emo type. Okay, alt, I think, right? Is that the term for that? During the first month of 6th grade, she wrote me a confession letter and to meet at a location. And to be fair, the letter was very weird, but written with very pretty colors and sealed with lipstick, so it was an honor. We are living in a rom-com world, everybody. I was only okay being friends with her because of the weird behaviors. I tried to be friendly and to not shun or avoid her, but I'm not sure that worked out. I wasn't emotionally or mentally mature enough or ready for things because I was only like 12 or 13, so I just wanted to go home and play the guitar and video games. This little ordeal spiraled way out of control to the point where the teacher pulled me and this girl out of class, and everyone was present, and forced me to be honest with my feelings to this girl? What kind of a is this real? Are you guys making these up? This is why I had my mod go through these things and moderate them. What is happening right now? Your teacher took you out of the classroom and made what? When you are 12? Okay, thankfully my twin and I have always been aware of things and had prepared a reply in case of emergency. What? Okay. This feels like you people are living in like animes that I am not. Oh my, okay. So out of the class in the hallway with 30 plus students that were aware of what was happening and watching, knowing the hand that I'd been dealt, I replied with, "This is hard to say. I'm glad to finally had this chance. I don't know how to say this, but I want to know how you feel. You're more than a friend. You're a buddy." You're a buddy? You hit her with the "you're a buddy"? Then again, you were 12. What else were you going to hit her with? What is happening right now? What is happening right now? The teacher made us hug. What is happening right now? What is going on? Somebody fire that teacher. Fire the teacher. I thought it would be the end of it. Unfortunately not. This girl made several more attempts to shun or act out and use her... I'm not going to say that out loud. To get my attention. Okay, it got out of hand with her... Okay. Handing me... Concerning mental health related notes. And she told me I have no friends because of you. Okay. Oh my. All right. I spent a lot of time with her to break down any awkward walls so that she could advance through stuff. See, none of this should have happened. You were 12. None of this should... You're 12. Sweet liberty. Okay. It got even worse with her making YouTube videos, with photos of me taken without my consent. And she would make fanfic comics of her and all of her friends making fun of me. And then I'm paraphrasing, concerning YouTube videos, with a persona of me being involved on the online videos with the concerning things happening. Okay, oh my god. Even worse, this girl would take piano lessons at a person's house in my neighborhood and would park at our house. My mom confronted her, because her mom had no idea about the stuff that was happening. And her mom was so taken aback, thinking that they were lies, and almost hit my mom. But she didn't. Meanwhile, oh my god. I can't read half of this. I do wish this girl's okay and had a happy ending. Okay, what? 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 What the fuck? What did I just read? What did I just read? Mods! Mods! Can somebody read these before I do? Okay, not the cougar fight. Okay, are you the asshole for what? Nothing. Your teacher should be fired if that actually happened. She needs a therapist, and her parents need to be more attentive to stuff, and monitor her screen time or something. I don't know. What the hell? Okay, no, you're not the asshole. Question mark, question mark, question mark. Your teacher's the asshole. Question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark. Next story. Okay. This one's finally cosplay, art / idol, etc. related. Okay, we're back into it. Okay. This one has a title too, so I'm just gonna type it. Am I the asshole for not sending in a completed piece in an art trade? Art in an art trade. Okay, wow. Okay, I will say the last art trade I ever did was with somebody on DeviantArt. I did the thing for them. I finished the art, sent it in, and I never ever got art back from them, and I'm still pissed about it to this day. So, maybe based on the title, maybe. All right. Let's read. A few years ago, I agreed to do an art trade with someone. They were going to draw my OC, and I was going to draw theirs in exchange. Ah, yes. That's how art trades tend to go. I like it, Picasso. When they sent me the drawing, I noticed that it was traced over a screenshot of a TV show. It was super obvious. The background was still there. You could even see bits of the show's character under my OC. Oh my god. Why did you agree to do an art trade with them? Did their other art look like that? They also had changed my OC's hair color without asking me. And said, I hope it doesn't bother you, but if it does, I'm not changing it because I drew everything on the same layer. So I was a bit pissed off. At this point, I was about to start coloring my drawing for them, but I decided not to color it and only sent them the line art. They didn't complain about it and never asked me to color it, but I still feel bad about not sending them a finished piece. I feel like maybe my reaction was petty. No, you're not the asshole. Hello? Okay, first of all, they didn't even send you art. They sent you some traced nonsense. I don't know. that doesn't even really count as them drawing. That's just tracing. So no, the fact that you drew them anything and even gave them anything is impressive to me. Next time, perhaps we vet who we are doing art trades with. Yes, good. Perhaps. Oh my god. Okay? Oh my god. So, no, you're not the asshole. Based off the title, I was gonna say yes, but no, you're not. With the context, no, you're not. Congratulations on not being the asshole. Next! Okay. This one is convention related. Okay. Am I the asshole for not paying for a room upgrade at a con? We'll leave it at that. Probably not. Let's read for context. Please hear me out. At the time of the story, I had a small friend group that would always book rooms for conventions together. And for the story, I'll just call them Person A. Okay. When our friend group chat received a message from friend A saying that they secured a room for KatsuCon, but there was only one bed. Regardless, we all screamed with excitement because of getting a room at Katsu was like the Hunger Games. That is true. It's almost impossible to get a decent room at the Hunger Games. Yeah, to get a decent room at KatsuCon. Oh my god. Especially like in the Gaylord. Good luck with that. Very cool. Shortly after, friend A made a KatsuCon group chat to make communication easier for everyone who was going. There was only 4 of us in the room, which made it pretty expensive. Despite the cost being so expensive, I sent my portion to them a month before the con. Fast forward to day 0 of Katsu, if you're not used to that, that's Thursday, to Thursday of KatsuCon. Me and my cousin just finished packing the car up for the 5-hour drive. Oh my god. Friend A, their partner at the time, had left the night before because they had a 10-hour drive to the convention. So as we're all on the road, we briefly mentioned in the group chat to see if we were able to get an upgrade to 2 beds as we specified. KatsuCon is notorious for just giving you 1-bedrooms. You could say you want 2 all you want. That could be what you pay for. They will just give you a 1-bedroom. It doesn't matter. You will never get a 2-bedroom at KatsuCon. And you can't upgrade because KatsuCon just doesn't let you do that. Just speaking from personal experience every single time. Unless you're just like stupid lucky. Is that Feet Cam Con? Yeah! That's Feet Cam Con! Okay, I don't know why I sounded excited about that. Okay, so as we're all on the road, we briefly mentioned in the group chat to see if we were able to get an upgrade to 2 beds as we specified. We only wanted the upgrade if we could get 2 beds, which everyone agreed that's fair. 2 more hours go by. We're 15 minutes away from the con, and we get a message from friend A saying they got the room upgrade, and it's going to be $80 more per person. But shortly after, I receive a call from their partner asking us to meet outside and help bring our stuff in. But I could notice that they sounded upset, so I said sure and told them where we were, and we met up. I could see anger in his face when he told us that friend A lied to him about the upgrade, and instead of making sure we had 2 beds, they upgraded our room to an atrium room that still only had 1 bed. Okay, context, atrium rooms have like a look over, so you can see the entire con floor instead of it just being like a random room in a hotel room that looks outside. You can like see the con floor, so they're expensive and hard to get. Anyway, at this point, there was nothing we could do to reverse this because their stuff was already in the room. So when we got up to the room, we questioned friend A about why they got the room upgrade when we specifically said not to unless we had 2 beds, and they said it's because they always wanted an atrium room. And I thought it would be because there would be more space. We just stood there looking at her shocked. So when friend A went down to get their badge for the night, we all talked and agreed that we wouldn't be paying the upgrade because that's not what we agreed upon. But in order to not kill the mood for the whole con, we decided to tell her at the end of the con. So am I the asshole? Side note, their partner broke up with them after this con. There's a lot more to the story, but I cut it for stream purposes. Oh my god. Okay. No, I don't think you're the asshole for not paying for that because you never said that's what you would pay for. They upgraded it to an atrium room because that's what they wanted, but they didn't ask you guys, and it didn't have the 2nd bed. So why would you? No, you're not the asshole for paying for that. If that means they end up paying, what's 80 times 4? 240? You know what? That's a cost they chose to make. And they chose to eat. So no, you're not the asshole for not paying for that. If they asked you ahead of time and like they said like I really want an atrium room, can we do it anyway? And then like yeah, maybe that'd be okay, but like no one consented to that. You can't just spend other people's money like that. 80 per person is rough. That's $80 extra too. Cuz they were saying that they already like bought the room. I'm guessing each one of these people was already like a couple $100 in, you know what I mean? And, like, that's assuming, like, there's one bed in the room. You got 4 people. I guarantee you're not all 4 sharing the bed. So someone's sleeping on the floor despite paying an equal thing for the room, which is, like, fucked up. So at that point, let that person pay more. You know what I mean? They wanted the atrium so bad, that's what they got. But that's not what you had to do. That's not on you. I'm dead, feet CamCon. It's true! That's the convention where at the masquerade, they will just keep filming people's feet, even if they're minors! It's weird! Anyway, so no, you're not the asshole. Your friend A is. Friend A is the asshole. And if they got mad at you for not paying, well, you didn't say you'd pay for that. And that's what they wanted, and they didn't consent to that. You didn't consent to that, and they just did it anyway. So, no, you're not the asshole for that. Sucks that their partner broke up with them after that. But, you know, you make decisions, you get consequences. I guess that's how it is. Hopefully everyone's doing good now, though. I've slept on the floor at KatsuCon multiple times with a towel as a blanket and a pillow, and no pillow, actually. It's miserable. It's miserable. Yeah, I'm never doing that again. Especially if you're paying for the same part of the room. Oh, crazy. Hell no. Okay, anyway. Next one. This might be the last one, too, unless I skipped one. I think this might be the last one. Okay, let me quick vet it. Okay, well, it's really short, so let's just read it. Okay. The other day, me and my close friend had an argument about a person I've been talking to. For context, I usually make deals with this person in the form of trades. That sounds so suspicious. I make deals with this person in the form of trades. That sounds so suspicious. I don't know what you're doing, but it sounds suspicious. Next. And we will keep this simple and call it person B. So I had to call my friend and invited them to breakfast. On the way to a restaurant, I got a phone call with person B, and the problems began. Apparently, I offended their... Apparently, it offended my friend that I was going behind his back and talking to person B in general, because person B had relations with his girlfriend. I will not read it the way you wrote it. And he found out about it, which I had no idea even happened in the first place. Why am I reading these non-related stories? I can't be doing this, guys. My name is my business. The paper offended him. Something, my brother. He wouldn't be friends with me if I dropped his contact. Okay, listen, I blocked him. Am I the asshole? Listen, I don't know, buddy. I don't know what to tell you. This story ain't got nothing to do with nothing that I want to talk about. I don't know, buddy. You argued with a friend. Sounds to me like you had a communicational issue, and if your friend cheated on somebody else, listen, that's their business. Listen. That's tough. That's tough, buddy. That's tough. Anyway, that's it. Those were my mostly cosplay idol, artist, etc. related stories. If anyone else would like to submit a story, you've got approximately 3 minutes to let me know that that's what you're gonna do, or to just submit it. Read the cuck story, Mimi. I'm not going to! I don't want to! Guys. The stream was supposed to be about cosplay, idol, artist, anime, convention stories, that sort of situation, right? Mimi story time, your turn. Yeah, am I the asshole for not reading stories that had nothing to do with my stream prompt? Yes? Well, I don't care. I make the rules. So yes, if you guys want to submit something, you got a couple minutes. Otherwise, you know what? That's where we're calling it. We had a lot of assholes today, whether they were the ones who submitted it or not. Kind of crazy. I think some of these were kind of crazy, to be honest. I don't know. I will say, I think the one that sparked the most rage in me was the Idol Fest one, where like you were debuting an original song and then the person just didn't care about the event they were running and like could have really, really messed up your whole thing. That's crazy. That's crazy to me. That one's the craziest. All right, everyone. I'm gonna leave you with a question. Am I the asshole for being Mimi? Let me know. Let me know. Actually, the idol and con part is only in the thumbnail and not the title. So you can only know by not watching. Listen. If you didn't read the thumbnail of the stream you're in, it's not my business. That's your business, okay? Jury's still out on that one? You know what? I'll take it. Jury's dismissed. Yeah, jury duty's over, everyone. Dismissed. The case is dropped. And it will forever go cold. The case will go cold. I'm gonna throw away this note. Pew! My very realistic note toss. Did you see that? Maybe. Case dismissed. Hold on, actually I can do something funny. I can do something so funny. Hold on. Case dismissed, everyone. Case dismissed. You are free to live your lives. Yes. Oh, hold on. We just got another response. Hold on. Okay, wait. We got another one. It's actually idol related. We got one that's idol related. Hold on. We've got one more. One more, everyone. One more story. It's idol related. I'm just going to read it cold turkey. And if there's something wrong with it, well, you know what? That's me for reading it cold turkey. That's on me. Okay, ready? One more. Am I the asshole for letting idols gossip about each other? Ooh. Years ago, I was in a cosplay idol group with some admittedly lovely people, many of whom still perform and are wonderful. But some of them were part of multiple groups in the area. Often these other members would bring up drama with other people across these groups. But since I was only a part of one group, I was pretty quiet and just brushed it off. A lot of this spread drama ended up in other groups disbanding from the drama and being made public and widespread. And while I wasn't the problem, I still feel pretty bad for bystanding the whole thing. Am I the asshole? No. 'Cause it's not your business, Like if they were making you uncomfortable or gossiping about you or something like that, like that'd be different because then it's like your business, right? But like, I'm gonna be so dead ass with you. Idols talk shit about each other all the time. Cosplayers talk shit about each other all the time. Artists talk shit about each other all the time. VTubers talk shit about each other. Everybody talks shit all the time. Everybody all the time talks shit everywhere. You can't even avoid it. There's just shit everywhere. Everybody talks shit all the time. All the time. You can't avoid it. As much as you want to be like, guys, this is wrong. We shouldn't say such rude things about them. Ain't nobody gonna give a fuck. They're gonna talk shit anyway. They're just not gonna do it with you in the room now. You know what I mean? So at that point, like, you can't control other people. Drama's drama. It's gonna happen everywhere. If it wasn't like I mean, unless it was making you uncomfortable or something, in which case I would say, yes, you should say something and, like, you know, tell them to stop, you know what I mean, right? But, like, if they're just sitting there being like, this person really annoyed me, yada, 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 and then you go over there and you go, this person really annoyed me, yada, yada, and you're just sitting there observing, but then those two people who really annoyed each other, and then we're going yada, 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 if they get in a big old fight and then the group that they were a part of disbands because of it, you know what? That's their business. That's their business. You know? I mean, I'm just saying. Personally, I do think something that everyone who loves to, like, you know, gossip and drama, whatever, talk, I think something everyone could benefit from is saying, like, okay, there's a time and a place, and then there's also a reason behind it sometimes. You know what I mean? Like, if you're just gonna sit there and, like, say, okay, let's say there's somebody named person A. Not my VTube Studio shit still being on the screen. Get out of here. Okay. Let's say I have beef with person A, okay? And we're in IO group together, okay? This is my hypothetical made-up fantasy scenario, okay? Person A. Persona. But yes, okay. And I think person A is really toxic. I think they're so full of themselves. I think they're really rude, and they don't care about anybody else besides themselves. Okay, that's it. That's my beef with person A. And person A doesn't think they did a damn thing wrong. They think they're like the shit, and there's nothing wrong with that. Okay, cool. Now person B, different person, wants to go be in a group with person A. But I'm friends with person B, right? And like, there's two ways this could go. One, by me saying, oh my god, you should not be in a group with person A because they did this to me. Can you believe it? They're like such an asshole. Like, person A is like so full of themselves, yada, yada, yada. They're awful. Like, you should tell every one of your friends that they're awful. Like, I hate them. I hate them so much. They're terrible. They're stupid. Everybody hates them. Awful. Like, that's, no. See, that's a no. But if I'm friends with person B and they're saying, I'm considering being in a group with person A, I could say, sure, like, do what you want. I do want to let you know I've had a bad experience with person A. If you want, I could tell you about it. If not, no biggie. Just, like, letting you know, like, you know, depending on the situation, you know. Like I said earlier in one of them, you know, telling people about your experience in a way that's informative is not a bad thing inherently. It could be a bad thing if you're, like, just out there spreading, you know, rumors, misinformation, yada, yada, whatever. But, you know, like, I mean, I don't think... One thing we should all keep in mind is just because person A does not like person B does not mean that you have to dislike person B as well. You should form your own opinions on person B. Granted, having information about why person A doesn't like person B is always helpful, but, like, formulate your own opinions on people, you know what I mean? Don't just sit there and be like, well, person A hates person B, so person B must be an asshole. So, I'm just gonna take that as fact and say person B is an asshole. I've never spoken to them once in my life, but I know they're an asshole, you know what I mean? Because, like, that's just you blindly following a crowd, and you're contributing to an issue with that, you know what I mean? But two T's, if you're just sitting there, like, considering, like, if you hear a friend of yours considering working with someone and you're just like, listen, you know, I didn't have a good experience with this person, I'm worried you might not as well, go for it if you want to, talk to them, formulate your own opinions, but here's my situation. Like, I think there's no problems with that personally, because there are a lot of crazy people. Let's be so real. There's a lot of crazy people in the world, you know? And if you're gonna help someone dodge a bullet, you're gonna help someone dodge a bullet. It sucks that sometimes there's gonna be misinformation, or, like, somebody's personal thing is gonna get in the way of stuff. But that's life, you know? That's life. That's just gonna happen. You know what I mean? For real, the whole I don't like this person, so you shouldn't either is way too rampant in all these communities. I agree. It's very rampant. People are like, oh my god, one time I heard that Mimi's racist, and so she must be. That's a real thing. Some people think I'm racist, because I'm gonna be so real. When I was in Stellar, oh, why am I blanking on the character name? Tori. So Tori was a black character, played by a black, I'll call it character actress, right? We didn't call it that at the time, but you get it. And she was just a very busy person. She was like in like, you know, school clubs and yada yada yada. So she was a very busy person. She couldn't make it to a lot of the songs and stuff that we did. So she wasn't in a lot of the songs and stuff that we did. But a lot of people were saying that I was racist because I wasn't letting her perform or whatever, which is just simply not the case. But some people heard that one person said that or something. Somebody said that somewhere. And to this day, some people still think that I'm like rampantly racist because of that. And I'm like, really? Really? Y'all, like, no, no facts, no proof, no receipts. We just think that. You know what I mean? So there's an example of it. You know what I mean? I'm just saying, like, formulate your own opinions, man. Unless you have, like, evidence right in front of you. That's, like, another thing. You know what I mean? I'm not racist. Jesus Christ, guys. Come on. Come on, please. Please, no facts, no source. Yeah, basically, I don't know. TLDR, no, you're not racist for that. I think you allowing idols to gossip about each other is you simply allowing the cycle of the world to continue. Like, you could have, like, in theory, there's a world, right? There's an alternate reality where you were like, guys, this is wrong. Let's not do this. You know what I mean? And you know what? Maybe in some crazy world that worked. Great for that world. In this world, I don't know, like, it depends on the people, of course. Every situation depends on the people, but I feel like odds are they probably would have just kept doing it anyway, and they just wouldn't have included you in it or something, you know what I mean? And, like, you know, pros and cons, man. I don't know. People talk shit about each other. That's the way of the world. That's the way of the world. Happens. I think it's best to keep that shit in closed doors, though. I'm just saying, you know what I mean? You don't want everybody knowing you're talking shit about them all the time, because then people won't like you. You know what I mean? You gotta pick and choose. Pick and choose your evils, you know? Some yada yada, some good advice. There you go. Cool. Woo! That's that, everyone. I'm hungry, so this court is adjourned. This court is adjourned. I am going to... The court from my bedroom, yes. I am going to go eat a snack. Now. I hope you enjoyed all of the gossip, the stories, the drama. I say as someone who wants to stay 500,000 feet away from drama at all times. I just think it's fun to read, you know? I like to read. Hope I could help and give you advice. And if I didn't, or if I just said things you agreed with or didn't agree with, well, suck it up. That's my opinion, and you know what? You're welcome. And shout out to chat and everyone in chat for giving me your opinions. We have successfully determined the fate of many folks today. You know? I would share my pain au chocolat, but it's kind of difficult. You got chocolate bread. Give me your chocolate bread. Give it to me. That's okay. I have a snack. I have to eat it after stream. It's okay. It'll be fine. Anyway, love you guys. I'll see you guys in the next stream, which is gonna be Monday. I'll see you guys on Monday. Yes. Have a wonderful day, chat. And if you ever think that you're the asshole, I don't know. Think to yourself, what would Mimi do? It still might land you as the asshole, but you know what? That's what Mimi would do at least, so it's okay. Alright, I love you guys. Have a wonderful, amazing afternoon, morning, evening, etc., whatever it is for you. I hope you have a wonderful time. Brick, thank you so much for the super chat, and I hope you guys stay slaying, stay wonderful. Yes, stay slaying, stay wonderful, stay cool, stay kudu. Thanks for the super, Brick. I appreciate it. Thank you. Bye. Okay, bye everybody. Ciao for now. Remember, all communities have drama. Idol communities, VTuber communities, artist communities, cosplay communities, convention communities. They're not an exception. There's crazy people everywhere. Do your best to avoid them, okay? Bye! Ciao for now. Bye the best. Bye Gabriel. Bye Stella Foss. Bye Slunkin Slippa. Bye Hebber Jebber. Goodbye Kaiko. Bye Fool if you're lurking. My favorite little lurker. Bye people. Bye, VOD watchers. Bye, other lurkers. Ciao for now. Ciao for now. Bye, bye, bye. Bye, bye, bye. Goodbye. Discord is now adjourned. See you Monday. Bye, Nameless. Bye, Plasma.